race. It's a mystery, our image deface. We God's infantry, stay in your place. I am the son of a God. I got a power with God. I am the son of a God. Prince of the power with God. Prince of the power with God. Sit up on me. Hear the sound of the seventh trumpet, the 11 lumping, now heaven coming with weapons gunning. The day of vengeance is independence for Jacob kinsmen, to make amendments to serve a sentence to Satan's henchmen. Who that coming out of Bozrah, with his garments all red, leaving thousands slaughtered. He left the sea of all a pitch of miles of water. Retribution is executed for our fathers. The cowards startle, why? Cause the earth is quake. The curse awakened mighty in the serpent's face. All praises to Yahweh, I'll be the first to say. The first to pray, return us to our first estate. 2 seconds there, rewind it a few seconds back. I saw a chariot on fire when heaven's cracked. Third and fourth, take it now, this word is yours. And the heathen as inheritance for your girls and boys. 5th and 6th, won't you take a whiff of this? That's the smell of salvation that was gifted quick. That's the sound of the 7. We crown from the heavens, cause we found with no leaven. Down with they weapons, down with they satellites, down with you kingdom, leave it broken like some shattered ice. Ain't no renaissance and ain't no rising up to afterlife. Christ gon' beat the whore and leave her in the battle white. Hear the sound of the 7th trumpet, the 11 lumping, now heaven coming with weapons gunning. The day of vengeance is independence for Jacob kinsmen, to make amendments to serve a sentence to Satan's henchmen.
Pastor Henry, where you at, Ox? We pulling up in Geno Jennings'
our next stop. We outside, where you at? Come take your best shot. We got them choppers aiming at you with them red dots. I'm talking Christ words, I got the right verbs to pierce the souls and know they gonna slice nerves. You don't keep the law of God, that's why you sight blurred. The love of Christian waxing colder than an iceberg. Silence, 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 you lying through your eyelids, saying that we violent. Silence, 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 try again my friend, go repent of thy sins. You a bootlicker, and we some true spitters. I'm a barrel left and right, I'm keeping two hitters. Yosemite Sam, quick, draw McGraw. Ooh, who's quicker? Barely tap them on the shoulders and they lose triggers. It's wartime, it's wartime, it's wartime, it's wartime, it's wartime, it's wartime. We are the army of the living God, a living God. We are the army of the living God. The province is back with knowledge and facts to demolish and abolish the tax, to open rebuke, to bring our man of hope into you, to show you the truth and teach you what you're chosen to do. I feel my spiritual power, destroying stronghold built up in years in the hour. A miracle flowers from scriptural showers. A seed sown, a seed grown among hypocritical cowards. They the tares in the wheat, they like serpents that creep. They a curse to the meek, they love and worship beasts. They still searching for peace, but we praying at the end comes 100-fold, much more than it did some. We rise in the nation, we magnifying our race when we prophesying this greatness. He designing and hated, they falsifying their statements. Now that this truth is found light, still claiming Christ is white, but that don't sound right. Ain't no stopping these prophets, we dropping this knowledge, we hotter than whitish. Jacob beside it at pottage, he so two-sided and bought it, claiming we stole his birthright. The prophet's back and we gon' bring this earth light. The prophet is back with knowledge and facts to demolish and abolish the text, to open rebuke, to bring our man of hope into you, to show you the truth and teach you what you're chosen to do. And teach you what you're chosen to do.
We smashing it, we hitting all, we getting back. You can catch us outside, but don't get turned into a bag. We smashing it, we hitting all, we getting back. You can catch us outside, but don't get turned into a bag. Lord, crack the skies, black some mind, wax some guys. Thy will be done on earth, Lord, maximize. We crying out every day, dying and out. We need your chariots in formation, birds flying south.
Your lions rouse, roaring here, Zion crowds. Descend from heaven with your angels, blow the trumpet, shout. The dead in Christ has risen. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. 44 is now ordained and we ain't scared to fight. We powered up, spiritually you shower us. It's miles of us upon 4,000 tough. The day is here, the one all the nations feared. They'll break in tears when they see the face they pierce. The curse is blessed, now that all the earth's refreshed. The tree of immortality, I have a first for that.
We crying out every day, dying and out. We need your chariots in formation, birds flying.
The prophet is back with knowledge and facts to demolish and abolish the text, to open rebuke, to bring our man of hope into you, to show you the truth and teach you what you're chosen to do. And teach you what you're chosen to do.
We smashing all we getting back. You can catch us outside, but don't get turned into a bag.
Yeah.
We is chosen one. We is chosen one. We is chosen one. Yeah, we them people. We is chosen one. We is chosen one. We is chosen one. Yeah, we them people. We chosen ones with the golden ones. We toting Bibles, not toting guns. We destroying rivals like Pokemon. Not joining idols like Joseph's son, but receiving vitals from Joseph's son. Who's the king? I'm screaming Christ. He's the king who bringing life. The law of light is shining bright. Who am I? An Israelite. Still with law and still with might. Building talk to heal and fight for a nation who's not living right. From segregation to civil rights, they fought to see a change come. Protested, marched, then voted, but still you see it ain't one. Jerusalem where we came from, and that's where we going to. Equal rights and integration ain't for those who know the truth. They always opposing you. They all hate a chosen group. They cross ways and your false faith is why they ruling over you. The Bible is our holy fruit. Take, eat, and be filled. We live in righteousness cause the chosen ones know he's real. Forsake all these cheap thrills. Keep the commandments and rise up. Romans 9 and 4 gon' rip, bro. That's why the nation despise us. We his chosen one. We his chosen one. We his chosen ones. Yeah, we them people. We his chosen ones. We his chosen ones. We his chosen ones. Yeah, we them people. Hey, we kings and priests, but that ain't what we seem to be. We dream of peace, but war is what we sing and preach. These kings and priests have risen, that's a scene to see. Yeah, kings and priests, ruling in your genes and seas. The hatred is real, but they cannot break this zeal. The sacred life by the law, obey his will. Elevate and build the kingdom, y'all, let's make it real. Cause it's getting hot in sin. Go and take a chill, that lake it feel like fire. It'll burn you up, turn a man back to earth, it'll turn you dust. I'm turning up, thank you, y'all, for hearing me. My tear will speak to you till your ears will bleed. It ain't weird to be your prophet popping knowledge with the true word. 2/3 ain't gon' get it, but gon' get nuclear. Bomb by the ton, and here comes a new world. Well, with kings and priests who be rarer than a blue pearl, finer than the best gold, redder than a ruby. Ooh, we all praise it, we our God. Jury, 10 down, 2 feet, I hope you understood me. But right now, they don't see what we should be. Hey, we kings and priests, but that ain't what we seem to be. We dream of peace, but war is what we sing and preach. These kings and priests have risen, that's a scene to see. Yeah, kings and priests, ruling in your genes and seas. Yeah, kings and priests. Yeah, kings and priests. Yeah, kings and priests. Yeah, kings and priests, ruling in your genes and seas.
I done walked through the fire with the angel of the Lord. I done came out the fire without a burn or a scorch. I'm enduring temptation. I'm enduring temptation.
You're the king, they gon' get it.
I'm enduring temptation.
They don't make the sense.
I done walked through the fire with the angel of the Lord. I done came out the fire without a burn or a scorch. I'm enduring temptation. I'm enduring temptation. I'm enduring temptation. The time has come for me to get saved. Accept Christ in my life. Come up out that darkness to that light light that's shining bright. Forgive for all my sexual sins. I found a wife that I like. There's certain sights that I fight. Throughout my dreams at night, I think the devil's after me. I'm a rebel, he will not capture me. This battle be within myself. I wake up catching my breath. I done did the devil's work, quit it. Now I ain't mad that I left. Now I'm walking straight with Christ, not crooked or taking side still. I took a lot of shortcuts that led me down the wrong ways, which made a long days. I turned from that to strong faith. I love you, God, I love you, Christ, and each day I'ma praise you both with all my heart and soul. You took me out the dark and cold.
It's that time again.
Power Hour Plus.
Ya es la hora. You know, Power Hour. Ponle atención, class is in session. Tune in for an hour, maybe more, that's a blessing. Learn from the captains and the leadership. Flee from religion, cause them churches never teaching shit. Everything you learn for your benefit. Line upon line is a requisite. Never take a deficit, yeah. That mean you take a loss if you stray from the way. You get the understanding if you study every day. Apply what you learn and bless when you pray. There's one interpretation, man, it's say what it say. Ya viene el tiempo, entra para el templo. Aprende del maestro con talento. La Biblia es el centro, usando a Israel como instrumento. No te pierdas en doctrina como viento. Estudia y ora y aplica. Tiempo para Dios, ven, hace una cita. Escritura dinamita, morenos y hispanos y salita. Oye cómo explica Israel unido en Cristo para la vida, nunca se divida. Tune in, it's the Power Hour. Learn your family history, don't be a coward. Yeah. Tune in, it's the Power Hour. I said learn your family history, don't be a coward.
Yeah, history to learn. It's the Power Hour. In every hour. Tune in to your history. You know it in history. Power Hour. In every hour. You gon' learn your history. In every hour.
With the deacon while you waiting on the weekend. From the tribe of Ethan with the home Puerto Rican. That's a byword, those ain't names, it's God-given. Fighting from oppression to saving all guys, chilling, giving light to the people. Don't let the devil beat you when you have at your disposal all these leaders that can teach you how to fight fornication, eat in moderation, correcting all these marriages and self-examination. All these different topics getting covered plus a lot more. You probably sleeping if you thinking this is not war. All these different topics getting covered plus a lot more. Just tune in and we gon' tell you what to watch for. Yeah, the Power Hour. You know, it's the Power Hour. Yeah, the Power Hour. Yeah.
Hey, shalom, shalom. Welcome to the Power Hour Plus.
Yeah.
Don't hurt yourself. No, you're out of practice.
Oh man, I'm back in this thing though.
Are you?
All praise to the Lord.
For
Yes,
how,
sir.
For how long?
Shit, Lord, as long as the Lord had me up in here.
All right. Okay.
Claude, have mercy.
I'm
All
digging.
praises.
I'm digging Yahshua. Shalom, shalom,
Hey,
everybody.
Deacon,
Oh, I'm not centered. Is that gonna annoy you guys?
yeah,
It's hard to get centered
first.
when every time I move my mic closer to me, the screen moves.
Oh, dang.
Damn.
Yeah, you like all the way in the corner. You probably end up back there again, though.
Did we move the table?
Claude, have mercy.
Go ahead,
Dang,
man.
it's like we're bringing it back to the other one.
Hey,
I'm not gonna be centered because this isn't centered to the table. Because I'm in the center of the table right now.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what's not
That's
centered?
true. That's
So
true.
you know what's not centered? Not me.
The
The table.
we'll fix it.
Look, they putting their heads down in there. Look, man, I take accountability when I'm wrong, all right? I take accountability when I'm wrong.
You,
Who-
sir, you.
You introduced yourself already, Chicky thing?
No, sir. I am Officer Asher.
Officer Rouvain.
Hey, Officer Joe.
Officer Tobias.
All right, everybody here? Everybody here? Okay.
Yeah, we in here. We in here. Deep.
Full panel.
Yeah.
It's good to have you back, Officer Rouvain. It's been a while, man. We've been having
all
a
praise.
listen. We've been having to substitute you with Job when it comes to like the housekeeping, bro. The energy is like 90% deficient.
But that's
Yeah.
Officer Cram, though.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
he's real like mellow. He's
It's like, hey, so you know, original
Right.
royalty. You know, Rouvain, he got the, he
Yeah.
the
you know
movement.
who he
And
reminds me of?
who that?
And not in how he looks or anything else, just in this one thing, okay?
Uh-huh.
Okay, because he might like the comparison I'm gonna make, but we actually clowning him right now. All right? Just want to be clear.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Common.
Damn.
You see Common in
Someone said I
movies.
look like him.
He's the same character in
Yeah.
every movie,
Right.
right? And it's always this.
Common the rapper.
It's
Yeah.
always this
Even killed.
even keel type of thing,
Consistency.
and that's Joe.
Yeah. Damn.
Bro, you all right? You look like you had a rough day.
I came straight from work.
Yeah. Don't you always come straight?
I, I go from the
ETA
the
705.
horrible job to the real job. You know, the work for the Most High.
Yeah. Look. Do the one with the black shirt and the gray up, right there. Yeah.
Yo, that is spot on. Oh shoot,
me.
Deacon is already
Dang.
cooking with
Facial
the
expression and
comparisons.
You
everything.
got to show him next to Job. That's Job. Job got more hair than Common, but
Barely.
A little bit more
But
hair.
it's on there.
Just a little
He said
bit.
he's
I don't know,
even.
bro,
I
you
gotta
look-
watch a movie with him
you
again.
look rougher today, bro. You all right? Things been all right with
Everything's good, D.
Yeah.
It was just crazy day at work,
you? I know.
man.
You know, you always. I never really see you like I haven't seen you like angry at like blowing your top angry.
Nah.
And I don't think I've ever seen you really like down either. Like it's like, you know.
Yeah.
Well, when you first got here, you were depressed,
You know,
but then we fixed you.
all praise for growth.
He even killed. Hey, that might be his other new nickname. I'm gonna.
He's like, wait a second, you're not doing this to me right now. How did you know?
I would say even killed.
Dang it.
Yeah, so
praise.
I get it. So without Ruvain,
Yeah.
like right, it's like real comedy,
Right.
Yeah.
right? Just
Comedy's
real,
crazy.
just real
That's
laid
just-
back.
I would have
Right,
never
man.
even made that comparison. Now I gotta watch one of his movies
I
again.
know.
You know
I
what I
don't
mean?
know what it is. I'm usually pretty good. Like I find a celebrity that like
Yeah.
remind me of
I remember you compared me with some weird celebrity. It was like some weird Mexican dude or something. You remember? No. Was that at one of the trips? You guys were making fun of me
I did
because I
have-
look
Yeah,
like some
because you had
celebrity or
somebody
something.
I can't remember. And you know what?
You know what? I can't even remember. They always. It's like they go on a whole rampage.
It comes to me in the moment, so
Yeah.
I don't.
Oh,
That's why he
man.
called it a rampage. You hear
Yeah.
this guy?
Yeah.
He said we rampaging on him.
Damn.
No. You do it. You do it to everybody. So I don't
forgot
even feel.
who-
Damn.
Oh, I said Bernardo from West Side Story.
That's what it
Oh.
was.
Damn it.
Was that at the trip or here?
And it was the new Bernardo from the new West Side Story. Right?
That was
Told you
here, or-
Bernardo. I think it started on the trip, and I got you. No, that's
Don't
the
do 'em
old,
like that.
That's the old West Side
Oh,
Story.
Don't do it like
New West
that.
Side Story.
New.
From New West Side Story. This guy over here. Yeah, that's Asher.
I gotta
Yep,
watch
that's
these
Asher.
shows. I gotta watch these shows.
I
Look at
wrong.
Asher.
God me.
Oh,
Oh,
with
snap.
the bangs too.
That's crazy.
That's Asher.
Yo, that does kind of
Yeah, he
favor
got the
you.
bangs.
Wow.
We did
Gotta
this. We
favor
did.
you,
We
bro.
did.
Yeah, we already established this.
You trying to turn the TV off?
That's Officer
I
Asher.
don't know why you. Why is
It's
it
the,
like?
it's the
turn the
facial
TV off.
expressions. That's
I
what it
know,
is.
though,
He
for real.
did. Did he try to turn the screen
Turn the
off?
screen off.
Yo, who messing with the screen, man?
Oh, you just gotta turn it back. That's it.
Yo.
Ooh, snap. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I just picked stuff.
That was good.
Right. Tobias just like, please don't show me.
Hey,
Please don't show
we
my
already
guy.
Nah,
know.
at this point it is.
That's
what it
been,
is.
that's been established for
He
years.
said, please don't show
Right.
Frank.
Dang
Frank
it.
is it?
It's actually been a while, Deegan. I feel like we should run that back.
Oh,
It's been a
snap.
He's
while.
like, please don't. And look, it's not always necessarily an appearance. Sometimes it's characteristics.
Right,
that remind me
right,
of a
right.
character, of, like how somebody moves. So, you know, Tobias don't look exactly like Frank, not
Right.
remotely. But I don't know.
No,
Frank,
just
is, Frank, is,
90%.
Frank is old in that picture. So maybe 30 years from now,
He might slide on into it.
life lasts. I'm gonna keep an eye on you. You might actually wind up looking like that.
Dang it.
Yeah.
I don't know. My dad looked good. He's a little older, so I give him.
I don't know, bro.
The
They've been
jeans
saying
good.
he looked like Curry on the
Solid.
streets.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They've
know,
been
we
saying
gotta
he's
see.
Curry's evil.
I don't know, bro. If you keep
righteous
getting
twin.
if you keep getting that much sun without sunblock, though, it's gonna prune up your
Sheesh.
skin.
I'm hoping that the melanin like increases.
Nah, you're just gonna
Maybe
just
in
gonna,
the next regeneration.
You reaching, bro.
You're just gonna increase your chance of prune, dried out skin. Do you moisturize
I do.
on your
still.
face?
Yeah.
Okay,
Before I leave the
all right.
house.
At least that.
Except in the summer. The summertime,
least
bro,
that.
that shit's bad.
I don't know how many years you waiting for the melon.
Bread is defiled.
Yeah,
wait for the
look, that's a
melon.
good one. I think 30 years from now that might be Tobias, but with
The
a beard.
open collar shirt.
But
He
with
gonna
a
start
beard.
wearing open collar shirts.
I think,
Wow.
I think,
Look at that.
At least he looks happy. Like, he looks
got no
joyful.
hair.
Fruits of the spirit.
Look, he even got
taco
he,
meat.
he even got a little Hebrew chain. and
Yeah, he
everything.
do.
Damn
Dang
it.
it.
That's how you know he's Israel.
So I'm not saying he's like the spitting image of him, but it's more characteristic.
All right.
He's something
Right.
like it though.
Yeah.
Right.
kind of like it. I'm sorry. It's
that's
terrible.
great.
I've never been able to repent of it.
That's great. I love it. I love it.
Yo, his forehead shiny too. Like if you just look at it long enough,
Bro,
you got a resemblance.
that's the point. Like,
Bro.
like some people off the top gonna be like, nah, but you're not seeing what I'm seeing.
Right.
You know, you're not seeing what
You gotta
I'm
open
seeing.
your eyes.
You gotta, you gotta look at it. You gotta look at it a little bit. Oh man, you know, I've been trying to get some continuity where I can be back to doing like back-to-back shows, but things have been hectic for me.
Yeah.
Things have been hectic for me. In a good way. All praise to the Most High, you know, but it's a lot of good stuff going on. But, you know, I just it's been tough. People been pissing me off. You know, trying to
You said
steer
you were
the
gonna
ship.
talk about it.
Trying to steer the ship. Yeah. Because you know why? I think internally some people I'm gonna show a video that I think Captain Abiel sent it to me. And he sent it to me because, you know, he just recently came for a visit. And I've said this before. I've known Abiel 25 plus years. We've been friends and brothers. More so than even my blood brothers, I would say. Right? Like, you know, I mean, he is my blood brother. He's from the tribe of Ephraim, but I'm talking about my immediate family. We used to joke that we had same father, different mothers.
Damn.
This before the truth, because we had so many foundational things in common. But anyway, so, you know, just based on stuff like, you know, he sees and we've been talking and stuff like that. And he sent me this video after his visit. And I guess, you know, he's real good at like trying to classify things. Right. So like he sent this. Now, there's going to be a video about Steve Jobs. Right. And what made him so successful. Now, I'm not talking about the marketing part. Steve Jobs was notorious for he didn't like to do, like, I don't know if you noticed after he died, if you had Apple products, they started to do surveys.
Right.
He didn't believe in that. He believed that, you know, if you had your finger on the pulse of what was going on, you gave the people what you wanted, right? And I know that that's a business model to some extent where you ask the people what they want. I think that's probably, it has its place. I think it's the lowest form of product development because depending on what you're doing, not everybody's going to want the same thing, right? Like some people like the Samsung because they say they like the interface.
Yeah.
Some people really like it because they like the camera. Some people like it because they like that it folds and the screen or
different
whatever it
things.
is, right? But it's never really all the same thing. And what happens is you still wind up not meeting the majority of what somebody wants because what you're going to go with is by the number of responses that you got that were the majority,
The
right?
majority vote.
So my point is you're never going to please everybody all of the time,
Right.
right? And his mindset was rather than get stymied in that, let's focus on these things. And listen, is it true that they've kind of slowed down as far as their innovations? Yeah, right? I mean, they lost him as the spearhead
As the main,
of it.
yeah.
But he blew it up, right? Whether you're on the side of Android or iPhone or Windows or whatnot, he blazed a trail.
He was a pioneer.
Yeah, he was
Right,
a pioneer.
that
movie was
that
crazy,
nobody's gonna be really for at least some time gonna be able to come behind and emulate and mimic that, right? And I say that because when that first iPhone came out, there was no Android. Everybody got caught with their pants down when he dropped the iPhone. Everybody got caught with their pants down when he dropped the iPad. I'm talking about initially, right?
Yeah.
And it got a little crazy and whatever, but one thing you got to say, their products work, they're stable. They're not as prone to stuff as
bugs and stuff.
bugs and things like that,
Hacking,
right?
Facts.
Sometimes at the expense of some levels of innovation, but it is what it is, right? And obviously they're one of the most wealthy companies in the world for a reason. But anyway, you can listen to that part just to see his character, but that's not the part I want you to focus on. We'll pause it when I get to a point, and that was the part that, to me, it was the best way that I could explain for those of you that deal with me, like operationally and stuff, why I am the way I am. And it's not me being an asshole. There's a level of focus and concentration that has to happen. I think he calls it noise to frequency, something like that.
Steve?
And yeah, one of the guys that worked with him. I think he's a Shark Tank guy. And he's worked with him before. But you'll see. I just want you to, and I want to maybe do a topic on this at some point because it goes into leadership and how you're able to hyper-focus on things to be productive, right? And there's a lot that goes to it. Because, a lot of times brothers will ask me, like, how do you do the stuff that you do? I'm trying to, and, most people, I don't really get into entertaining that because what they're really asking for is a hack, right? They think there's some sort of hack that I do. And it's not. It's actually a process of who you become and how you are.
Right.
And unless you're willing to change that, and nothing I tell you is gonna,
Right.
you know, like,
resonate
you know, oh,
with
what do
that.
you do? Oh, yeah, you know, yeah, there's this technique, there's that, there's this, but, you know, before we do it, can we lower the temperature a little bit because I'm
It is a
burning
little
up.
warm.
It is a
Oh,
little
have
warm in
mercy.
here. Can we get? Can one of you guys come out of the booth in there? You know, we should have put a dunk tank in there for when you guys mess up.
Right, that'd be dope.
push the button.
We were talking about getting a dunk tank.
Right? We should have done a
Right,
dunk tank.
Officer Rouvain.
And come out
Look.
and adjust this thermostat real quick. But play this video because you're going to see some qualities of what makes you kind of productive and successful as a lead. And there's many things. It depends on what you're in and what
Right,
you're
that's
doing,
what I
right?
was about to
There's
say.
like a battlefield commander might have some different things, you know, operation. There's different nuances, but
Yeah.
I think this definitely has to be one of the things that you have to focus on to get there, right? And it's more the second half of the video, but the first half has value. Go ahead.
Steve, by the way, not a nice guy. He would say to a room full of people, Kevin, I don't give a shit what the students want or the parents think or anybody thinks. It's what I want. They don't know what they want till I tell them what they want. And I said, Steve, you sound like such an asshole. You have no idea what that sounds like. He says, no, that's how it is, Kevin. Now, are you making money with me? Am I your fastest growing OEM? Have we not been wildly successful and continue to be? I said, yes, Steve, that's true. He said, then you fucking shut up and do what I say.
That's how he would talk to you.
100%. And here's what I learned.
Stop. So this is the part I really want you to hyper focus in on, right? And I know that not everybody sees this side of me, right? But you brothers that work with me closely, sometimes it might seem, right, that I'm being an a-hole. And it's not that, right? Listen in. Go ahead. Come on.
Look how wildly successful he was. But here's why. There's a concept that he understood that very few people focused on back then in the early 90s of signal-to-noise ratio.
So stop. Signal to noise ratio. Signal to noise ratio, right? All of you always asking, how do you do it? How do you be so productive? I don't understand. And some people aren't going to get it because when I tell them, it's not the answer they want to hear, and we all have the same 24 hours in a day.
Right.
It's not because the type of job you have or the type of job I have or the responsibilities I have and the responsibilities that you have that differ. We all have stuff, right? We all put different values on the things that we do, right? Some more than others, okay? Because there's another side to this from another guy that I follow that he worded it very well too. And I won't talk about it today because there's a lot of main content that I want to get into. But remind me, and I'll talk about it. And it has to do with not sacrificing some of the things that you enjoy. Because you can't be on the gas all the time, right? The engine has to cool sometimes, right? But that's
Good
another
point.
side
Yeah,
of it. But
yeah.
that's another side of it. Because some people would think that I don't do anything that I enjoy, right? But I mean, one of the main things I do that I enjoy, and I always, even when I wasn't eating that great, was exercise, right? I love the gym. I
That's your
love
peace
lifting
time.
weights. Like, I love doing active things, right? Like, that's one thing that's enjoyable for me. So that's a non-negotiable. Like, I always do it, right? Like, I always do it. Amongst some other things that you make time for. But anyway, that's the other side of it. But remember, signal to noise ratio. Signal to noise ratio. Come on.
What was so brilliant about Jobs that I tell every CEO now, and I don't care if you're an S&P 500 CEO or you're just starting a business, his vision of Signal was the top 3 to 5 things you have to get done in the next 18 hours. Not your vision for the business next week or next month or next year, just the next 18 hours you're awake. You're going to get those 3 things or those 5 things done that you have deemed critical for your mission. They must get done today. Anything that stops you from doing that is the noise. So this signal-to-noise ratio to be successful for Steve Jobs was 80-20. 80 signal, 20 noise. And I knew that to be true with him because he would email me at 2:30 in the morning, expect me to get back to him, because back then we didn't have texts, it was all email. He was right. And the only other person that I've seen that has a higher ratio than that is Elon Musk. He has no noise. He does not deal with noise. He is 100% signal, 24 seconds, every cycle. I mean, the guy is just 60 seconds of every minute, 60 minutes of every hour. The 18 hours he's awake, it's all signal.
Right. So that signal to noise ratio, and let me tell you, when you go out of whatever your ratios are for you, because it's gonna be different depending on what you do and what field you're in, right? Remember, I said it's different. If you go out of your ratio, and I've experienced it because I fight it daily. Noise comes in and it derails you from the signal, right? The 80, 90, whatever percent it is that you do. So people are like, oh, Joshua, you never pick up the phone. Signal to noise. Oh, I texted you hours ago. Signal to noise. You don't have to know everything that I'm working on, but I have mission critical things that got to get done. And it's not just me. I'm talking about any leader that's going to be effective, right?
Yeah.
Your measure of success is going to be how much you're going to be able to hone in and focus on signal of your mission critical things, right? Versus the noise that comes in, right? Some people call them, they like to put a nicer tone on it. They'll call them like emergent task. Still noise, right? There's things, some brothers have heard me say, look, I got to triage what are you dealing with here because something came in and I gotta jump on it or something like that, And that happens, right? So you got to leave like margin for that, right? But signal to noise. And I think, like I said, and the reason I mention Abiel when I talk about how much we're friends is that if there's anybody that kind of really can look at me and how I operate and know that there's nothing behind that, it's going to be him because he's seen me from the world to the truth to where we're at. And he's seen the consistencies and he's also seen the changes that I've made, as I have for him as well.
Yeah.
And he sees that. So he sent me this video and I was like, damn, that's pretty profound. And so, and it's nice, it's comforting that I have a friend that says, I get it, right? Like him sending this to me was like, he didn't send it with no comment or nothing, but I knew what he was saying.
Yeah, that's heavy,
and he was telling me he gets it.
That
you know what I'm
is
saying?
heavy.
He was telling me he gets it. So
I would love for you to go to this in depth with the ratio versus the noise. And then I was thinking about the part about when he said that he was an asshole. I was thinking about when they called Christ an austere man. That so is not whatever.
You know, and it's funny that you say that because I was thinking about that as I was driving. Because I remember I was telling you guys when I got here, I had to send a bunch of nasty grams to a few brothers and stuff like that. And I said, you can't confuse austerity with being an asshole or being a dick or being mean or something like that, right? Like, and I think most of us, this goes back to what the class I did about leadership.
Yeah.
A lot of us have never been in an environment where that type of pressure is on you, right? This is why, in some respect, I do like aspects of the military and basic training. Like, we know we shouldn't be caught up in Esau's agenda.
Yeah.
But that exposes that in a lot of people, and you see the inadequacies of a lot of people, and how much these are people that are grown men and they're babies because they've never had to be in a situation where they've had to prioritize things that way, and they've had to move that way. And then it carries over into everything else, right? So it's like you're given authority, but you've never been pressure tested in anything and stuff like that. And that's when you cave, and it affects your house and everything else. But I was thinking about austerity when I was coming over here, and I said, like, austerity doesn't mean that there's not compassion and care behind it. If anything, I think you just do it so that you eliminate the noise. You try to eliminate the noise for others.
Mission-minded.
Right? And that's like what I was telling you guys before the show here. Like I write what I write, and I mean what I write, right? And I'm not saying it's always, there might not be room for a what-if scenario, but some things are pretty clear. And if you just stop for a second and read it, right, and try to really hear and understand what the messenger is trying to convey, you eliminate a lot of those communication gaps to make things happen.
And then you don't have to explain yourself and so forth.
And then you don't got to explain yourself. And that's when I start to get frustrated. It's like, why are three people asking me the same question different ways?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I was already pretty clear on how that goes. So,
and that's how you know how far a lot of us novices are from the level you're at with leadership because of time and experience.
Well, and
even that alone.
Yeah, and that's what made me come up with the class that I did. Was the Sabbath before last? Was because I was just thinking about like how much leadership has changed me, consistent leadership. Because I think since like the mid '90s, as far as in profession, like I worked in retail a lot.
Yeah.
But I've always been in supervisory roles since then. So I have, outside of my time in the truth as a leader, which to me is more real leadership because you're touching people more intimately, right? And intimately doesn't mean erotic Okay?
Right. For you
Some people here
nasties out
intimate,
there.
right?
Claim
It's
disclaimer.
just
Respectfully.
the counsel I give affects individuals' lives, not just your
Yeah.
position at a job or
Right.
whatever.
100%.
But I have a breadth of, since like the mid 90s of, I think when I started in Old Navy, I became a supervisor over there. And since then I was always in some sort of supervisory capacity, whether it was retail or even when I went into other sectors that I worked in. But hearing the truth, it's been kind of a more consistent, not just at the job type of thing, because you're touching people's lives and stuff like that. And it's let me tell you, leadership does a marvelous work in you if you let it. And that was the whole point of my class, was like there's burdens, but not burdens in the sense like it's not something that you don't want to carry.
Right.
But and the highest form of that is the refinement part, where you let it change you, right? So, but yeah, that's what I was telling you guys. I'm pretty straightforward. I'm pretty like, it is what it is. I think you got to be able to receive. You got to understand what people are really asking or what they're really saying.
Man, we can go on a whole tangent on this.
We could. That's what I'm saying. I want to do like a topic on it or
Yeah.
something, because there's a lot that goes behind it. But signal to noise.
Yeah, signal to noise.
And a lot of times, a lot of the stuff is noise. Like I'll give you an example. My wife asked me to take out some chicken wings today, right? But only if the kids wanted chicken wings for dinner. And right now I got a lot of signal. Like I'm in a high signal. It's been these past few months has been very high signal for me, right? And as much as she might not want to hear it, to me that fell off the plate. I didn't take them out because it's noise. Like I have other stuff.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even like intentional that I blocked it. My intent was I wanted to do it, but I had so much signal coming in, right, that it's not going to be a priority. So when I tell her I have a lot to do, I don't know if she understands it fully, because she also has a lot to do. She's very busy. She works, and she has the parts that she plays as a woman, not just in the congregation and as my wife in the congregation, but in the home as well.
Right.
But we operate at different frequencies. So
I like that, because you gave me a name to put on, kind of like how I move in my house. Like it's like when we're hyper focused on something, and the wife or situations happen, and you hear it, but you're not processing it because it's not in your signal at that moment. And they look at it like, "Well, did you hear me?" I'm like, "Yeah, I heard you."
I'll give you another example. It took me a lot of years, but I had to train the kids and I had to train my wife. And, it's training. It is, because you're
right.
I said, if you see me like this, shut up. Don't talk to me. That's not the time to talk to me,
That's real.
Like my wife has this habit of talking to me from across the house.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And I realized that I was enabling it, because I would try to talk back to her across the house.
Oh, shoot.
So now my
Dang,
solution
is
if you talk to me from across the house, I'm not responding to you. And when you realize that I'm not responding to you, you have to come to me.
Right. Did you not hear me?
To ask me. Or what she'll do is she'll text me. But if I'm in signal mode, I'm not answering your text either. Right? So, if you see me doing this, so it used to be they would come and I'd be like,
right,
or make a noise, like I'm grunting because I don't want to lose my thought or whatever, right? Like I'm in focus mode, right? And then like the kids would get all offended by it. So now, what they'll do is like from my peripheral, I'll see them standing at the door waiting for me to finish.
That's my wife. Oh my God.
They're just standing waiting for me to finish.
I love it.
Oh, D, you're striking chords right now.
You're right, Princess Court, and I think she mentioned it to me because at the moment she was talking to me. Normally, it would be my daughter, who's the oldest, that would take it out. But, I'm just using that as an example, right? And maybe, again, I was so in signal mode that I probably could have told my daughter to take it out also. But it was just one of those things where in the moment she was talking to me. She was pretty busy today, too, and at work. And that's where it came out, So, but it got lost. So, she wasn't upset. She was just joking with me about it through text. But, it was kind of like, she was like, yeah, I came home to season the chicken. I said, oh, crap.
Total like that too. By the way,
I said, damn. I ain't got no shit. I put my examples out there. You know what I'm saying?
That's one thing I like about you.
Yeah,
Deke. Very transparent. Very transparent.
Well, I think it makes it realistic, right? So I don't just look like a talking head talking about things that I don't experience.
Right.
I've said it before. Usually it's either things that I've gone through or am dealing with, or I've seen others deal with, and I've had like a role in it somehow, whether being privy to it or helping them with it. And I pull on those scenarios and stuff like that to try to bring things out. So.
Right. You can voice it and give an example.
Yeah. So
that's like Christ. He was, tempted at all points.
I can't make any promises, Isaiah. He said, please do a class on signal to noise soon.
Man, hold
As
up.
the spirit
man.
moves.
Hold up, just stop. We got 4 parts. First, we got to get
Man.
through. We're in part 1 today.
That's noise right now.
Yeah, that's noise right now. We need the
Damn it.
signal to be full.
But it's all right, Isaiah. I already put it in our respective telegram for the reminder. So just stand by, and Lord's willing, un día.
Yeah.
Un día.
Yep.
All
Hey,
praises,
that's why it
man.
says if you can't rule your house, you can't rule the kingdom, right? Because you're all supposed to flow as a unit. Everybody has
Right.
their responsibilities, things that you could go to and stuff like that.
Husbandman.
And it's nice to have kids sometimes when you don't want to get up and get something from the fridge.
Man.
Oh man!
When the remote be sitting right on the stand right there, it's just out of arm's
No,
reach.
That's that king stuff.
Now we know.
My
Hey,
dad,
that's
my
King
dad used
Ruvain.
to do us like that.
That's
No,
King Ruvain.
That's king.
No,
I
wait. My
mean,
dad used to
if
do
they're
that.
in proximity, I won't call them from like the other
Yeah.
side of the house.
Crazy word.
To bring me the remote, that's like I might
Baby.
just get up. That's different.
I'm having flashbacks.
Right.
That's King. That's King.
Right.
all
Like
day.
last night I had some cottage cheese or whatever. Anyway, it was like a pizza bowl with cottage cheese, right? And I didn't want it sitting out too long because then it would dry up and be harder to wash. So my daughter happened to come in to talk to me, and I told her if she could take it, put it in the sink, like wash it out or whatever. And then like a couple minutes later, I wanted something. And I walked over there. She's like, wait, why'd you have me bring it if you walked over here? I said, you know what? I said, I knew you were going to ask me that. I said, I wasn't gonna, but what I didn't want to do is call you all the way back just to get me, something from the fridge. I mean, she would have gladly done it. She's very thoughtful like that, my daughter. Like, you need anything, Daddy? You need anything? But anyway, I just think of, I'm not going to call somebody from like across the house
King Ruvain.
to to do that. So, right, King Ruvain.
King would.
He said, "How'd that turn on me?"
He wouldn't even just do it like regular. He'd be
Like Coming to America. You know what I mean?
Oh man.
Bring water.
Oh snap. Oh damn.
Hey, let's do the housekeeping, man, so we can go into the rest of our stuff.
All right, so the housekeeping. Nah. You back, baby.
Hey, all praises, all praises. Hey, run that video.
Okay.
He's original royalty. Stop. Chill. Relax. He's original royalty.
Common.
I gotta chill. He's original royalty.
Let's do it again. Do it again. But that was.
Hey, all praises, all praises. Hey, check this out. You can go ahead and press the
That's
pause
it.
on that.
We don't gotta rerun it.
Claw have
You
mercy.
saw Bernardo.
Oh,
Yo,
snap.
I think it's a wrap for you, bro. Captain Zakar just sent me the Bernardo picture.
Damn it.
What do you mean?
Like he acknowledged that's you 1,000%.
Damn.
So once it's among the captains, bro.
It's a wrap.
Oh, it's
That's
over
it.
with.
You-
Oh,
look
The
God.
way you looking.
It's in the archives.
That's it, bro.
I expect. I
That's
expect
it.
a plethora of jokes.
That's it.
Never let your bangs fall.
It's
Damn it.
sealed, bro. It's sealed, man.
Damn.
You-
Funny.
don't be surprised or you be clowned left and right in your travels.
Hey, no. Shalom. No. Claw, have mercy.
Nardo. What's up, Senator Knight? Let's move.
Yeah, let's get this center tonight. First of all, don't forget to go to originalroyalty.com for all the latest Israelite fashion. And let me tell y'all something. I'm just going to keep it 1,000 with you. 2026 and Original Royalty, y'all just hold your horses and wait to see how we coming this next calendar year. You don't want to miss what's about to come out. Center of the night, we're going to start with Deacon. Deacon, what you got on tonight?
Mahogany spice.
Tell me about that mahogany spice.
Bro, that thing, I was sleeping on that.
Hell yeah, bro. That mahogany
is
spice.
crazy. That mahogany spice is crazy.
Something nice.
It's crazy. Yes.
Claw, have mercy. What you got on
Hey,
Shakram?
I got the vanilla sandalwood.
Vanilla sandalwood. Them sandalwoods be
Nice
going.
and subtle.
Yeah.
You sure, bro? You're looking rough today.
I'm looking rough today.
smile.
He's very adamant about it. Just explain yourself.
Damn it.
No, it's vanilla
I don't know,
sandalwood.
man. Maybe your wife needs to prepare a little Epsom salt bath when you go home tonight. You know what I'm saying?
It's definitely
some little candles for some aromatherapy and stuff like that. You know.
She do be doing that too.
Yeah.
Shout out to my wife.
Okay, but I'm saying like tonight, I think you need that.
Tonight, all right.
Yeah.
I take your
Yeah,
counsel
you
on
need
that
to
one.
have some salt.
I definitely follow counsel on that one. You hear that, wife?
Toga Toby, what you got?
Run my bath.
Run my bath.
I ain't heard Toga Toby in a minute.
Yeah,
Bring back
man.
the
That's
AIs,
it.
The rose sandalwood.
The rose scent.
Bro, I've been
Yo.
sticking
That's another
with it.
nice one. I
Yeah.
finally tried
Yeah.
that one too. That's another good one.
I'm not. Yeah, that's the.
Officer Asher.
Hey, I'm rocking like my deacon, man.
Uh-huh.
Mahogany spice.
Okay, so you a beard guy now.
All day.
Okay, all praise.
And I've been back on the minoxidil.
You been okay?
Yo, but it's messing up. I'm itchy. I'm all dry.
Because
Even
you're
with
not
the
doing it
oils.
right. You're supposed to
I do.
moisturize.
But I think it's because I haven't done it in so long. My skin is reacting to it. It's like second week. So I'm itchy. Like right now I'm cool, but yeah, man, I be itchy. And then when I scratch it, and then I put more on, that shit
Jesus.
burns. But hey, look, I'm going for like another year. I'm gonna see what that does because I want my beard, my cheeks to come in. We're gonna see what happens, man. Y'all pray for me.
All praises. Well, check this out. I'm rocking the amber sandalwood. It's sandalwood for the win tonight.
It's sandalwood.
It's the
season.
winner. It's
That's
the winner.
it. Hey,
Come
and
on.
check this out. You can go to originalroyalty.com right now to get your MBD. And it's on discount. But check this out. There's going to come a time in the near future, MBD isn't going to be on Original Royalty no more. It's going to be on his own platform.
Oh, wow.
And guess what? We coming out with some new stuff, so them prices ain't going to be them prices right now. So you need to hop on it while the going is good. All right? That's it. Get down on it. Get down on it.
It's worth it.
All praises.
I like that song. How you gonna do it if you really don't?
Hey, no, they didn't know you know how to get down there. You know?
Hey, Deke, I heard they got a dance for you in New Orleans. It's called a Deacon Joshua. Hold on. I got to get the video and get it to you. Yes, sir. They said somebody caught you. They said
they're going off of that men's conference.
Yeah. Somebody caught you out. They got the Deacon Joshua dance.
They got a
Hey, I'm going to get the video and I'm going to send it to you.
I gotta see that.
Oh, man.
That's it.
Oh my goodness, man. Brothers is crazy, bro.
Oh, snap.
Now I gotta dance. I know some brothers been trying to get me on an album too. You know who was it? Phil Judah from New York. He was trying to get me on something. He tried for a minute, bro, but Signal to Noise. I couldn't do it.
Signal to Noise.
Signal
And the
strong.
Northern Kingdom brothers been trying to get me to do something. They said when I'm ready. I'm never gonna be ready. Just tell y'all now. People be like, when you gonna do this? When you gonna do that? Never.
Signal to Noise.
Never.
He says what he means.
All right, let's go into the health piece, man, because we got to talk about Venezuela, and then we got to get into the actual topic.
Right.
Let's go.
Plus.
Let's
Man.
go.
All right, we're only gonna do one health piece today. I got a ton. I got some good stuff for y'all, but we're only gonna do one. Right? Let's read the. Wait, where is it? Where did it go? Go ahead, read that part, and then I want to don't go to the next slide. I want to read what he actually said on the side.
I ate in a calorie deficit and didn't lose any weight. No, you did not.
No, I said don't go to the next slide yet. I see you put the finger there. Don't click. Do not click. Okay, move the finger out the way. Right? You hear that, right? Oh, the calorie thing don't work. I ate in a calorie deficit and didn't lose any weight. No, you didn't.
That's the fat man's favorite word.
No, you didn't.
Verb of the day.
Read what this guy said.
People are going to get mad at me for saying this, but I'm going to say it anyways. Most of the time, when someone is not losing weight and they say they're in a calorie deficit, they are not in a calorie deficit.
Right. Go ahead. Come on.
Studies suggest that most people underreport their calorie intake by a substantial margin, sometimes by 30 to 55%.
Wow.
Yes, things like thyroid can have an effect on this, but that represents a small percentage of the population.
Right. Or out here, it's PCOS, is this, my metabolism, all the excuses in the world.
Right.
But you're just not eating in a calorie deficit. Go ahead. Come on.
Now, this doesn't mean that hormones aren't an issue.
Come on.
Chronic stress can increase cortisol, which can increase our appetite and also add to the belly fat. Hunger hormones like ghrelin and leptin can be dysfunctional, leading to people eating more and not feeling full. Hormones have an effect on weight loss, but it's not what most people think.
It's not what most people think. Go ahead.
Lastly, this does not take into account metabolic adaptations and also damage. When people do low-calorie diets over the course of time while burning their hard-earned muscle.
Which is why we keep telling y'all high protein, and high protein is really, I'm going to say, it's close to a gram per pound of lean body mass, right?
Right.
So you basically get on one of them scales, and I know everybody says, oh, DEXA, in-body, whatever. They're all within 2 to 3% of each other, all right? So 2 to 3% is not going to be a big deal, right? It's just a number. What really matters is do you have the look that you want, right?
Yeah.
And take that lean mass number, and that's what needs to be your protein. High protein is not 90 calories if you're not 90 pounds of lean mass.
Right.
If your lean mass is 130 pound leans, it needs to be 130. If your lean mass is 180 pounds lean, then it's 180 pounds of protein, 180 grams of protein you got to eat.
Is it better, or does it really matter if you go above that? Let's say you're 140, you go 170.
It just gets more expensive because protein's expensive.
So there's really no
There's really
benefit.
no downside to it. The benefit is that protein's fuller. It has higher caloric burn as you digest it, so it keeps you fuller longer. There's no cost benefit to it because carbs are cheap. You know, protein, you could just fill it in with carbs and get more performance.
Yeah.
But you know, they talk about protein overfeeding. I mean, and that's more nuanced. That's people who want to bodybuild or model and stuff like that. But you know, the benefit is that it'll be harder to put on fat if your protein's higher. So you could do the bulk of your calories from protein, but you know, it's gonna be harder to get fiber in and vegetables from micronutrients. But go ahead, come on, Reed.
When people do low-calorie diets over the course of time while burning their hard-earned muscle, it will drive down their metabolism, which will cause them to lose less weight.
Right. This is why I keep telling you guys, you know, Ruvain talking about he going to do a 5-mile run after the show. How about you go to the gym and lift some weights?
Thank you.
I've been on kettlebell.
And that'll increase your metabolism. You're going to over cardio it. Now, unless that's what you want to do because you like to run long distance, but then you got to eat like that. Like Toby runs and bikes like all over the place now.
Everywhere.
And
I hit 4 miles on the way here.
In my mouth. I was cracking.
Toby rides his bicycle freaking damn near everywhere.
He sure
so
does.
he got to eat. What are you eating? Almost 3,000 calories a day now?
No, so I my carb is set at 1,900, but I overeat probably like 24.
Your calories are at 19?
Yeah, on the app.
Are you trying to lose? You trying to cut up?
That actually, I've been sustaining with that.
Yeah?
Yeah, but I'm not tracking everything. So, like, I shoot for that as the base, and then I'll have whatever I want afterwards.
So 3,000.
I can attest to that. He had some chips last night.
Yeah.
They were pretty good.
But anyway, my point is, then you got to eat to support that, right? So, but like if your primary thing is to burn fat and not just obsess over the number on the scale, you gotta do things that keep your passive metabolism in place, and muscle's gonna do that, right?
So deep.
You get squishy and
the muscle mass, is that what we go by?
So that should be your minimum protein.
Oh,
your minimum.
I've been doing like one.
Well, or not muscle mass, the lean mass number. The lean mass number.
Oh, the lean mass number. Hold on, let me see.
Oh, I see a lean one.
Hold on. So with the pen, your fat-free body weight.
Fat-free body weight right there?
Yeah.
Oh, that number?
Fat-free mass.
What? So not the actual body weight?
So 142.
No, at a minimum.
At a minimum.
At a minimum.
So I can lower my protein. I can save money that way too.
Right. So that's at a minimum.
Gotcha.
I say up to like 1.3, 1.5.
Yeah. Like, look, my fat-free body weight's 133.
Okay.
But when I fill in the rest of my carbs, and this is on a diet, it'll have me at 150 something.
Got you.
Protein, you know. So just
because carbon's got me at like 170 for protein, and that's way above.
I would listen to it.
Yeah.
Yes. If you're doing a coaching app,
I did.
Why pay for a coaching app and you're not going to listen to the coaching recommendations?
Well, I did I chose it as a high protein and lower carb.
Okay. So you manipulated that. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
So you can make it. It's up to you.
But based on what you're saying, I could probably go lower on the protein. That'll probably save me some.
You probably can.
You
probably come down to around 150 something. Be okay. 140 something.
142 for me. Shoot.
And it allows you more carbs. But go ahead, come on, finish reading. I want to get to the rest of the show.
But again, it still comes down to calories and calories out. I've yet to see one person defy the laws of thermodynamics. If you want to get fit without sacrificing your busy schedule, I've helped.
All right, that's it. We don't need to read that part. Let's go to the slides, though, right? So go ahead. Come on. Next one. Oh, you can put the finger now. Go ahead.
If you're eating clean but not losing weight, you're eating too many calories.
Y'all hear that? It's not clean. And notice he puts because what's clean? You washed it, you sprayed it with something to clean it up. Like what's clean, right?
Yeah.
And I know what you mean by clean. You're talking about you're
More
eating
nutritious.
more nutritious, more nutritiously dense foods, but you can overeat those.
Right.
Right. A little harder, but you can overeat them.
Right.
Right. Go ahead. Come on.
It's not magic. It's thermodynamics.
Come on.
People will drink 500 to 1,000 calories in a single coffee in the morning.
Asher.
Damn.
Then wonder why they're not losing weight.
Jesus.
And it helps.
Right. You drink 500 calories in a. Some of y'all like your. I've said this before. You like a splash of coffee with your creamer, and them creamers easily
killer.
add up.
Yo.
Oh, yeah, that's me.
Easily add up.
Yeah, that's me.
They
That's
easily
definitely
add
right
up.
there, bro.
And then some of y'all, I see some of your your coffee preferences for the kitchen. Y'all want 8 pumps of creamer, then 8 sugars.
Sheesh.
That's crazy work.
That's wild.
Insane.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't even know like your threshold for sugar.
No, that's crazy.
And let me tell you, man, I love sweets. I love sweets.
That's Ruvain.
Oh, that's Ruvain?
Oh, damn.
Vincent had to come out and be like, that's
That's King
He gave no
Ruvain.
evil monkey point.
That's King Ruvain.
Did they just come out and point at me?
Yeah,
That's crazy work.
5 shots.
Y'all don't like coffee then?
No, I don't.
You like sugar.
I don't actually like coffee.
Right.
I admit it.
Go ahead, read that.
Next. My metabolism slowed down after 40. No, it hasn't. What's changed is that you became more sedentary. Drank more alcohol.
Stop. That's the big one in Israel. You heard Bishop
Alcohol.
Yawasop. He's saying there's a big alcohol thing in Israel. I'm not saying everybody's walking around like sloppy drunks, but there's a, what do they call it? An alcoholic culture.
That's right. There's the word.
There's an alcoholic culture around the drinking. But go ahead, come on.
Deprived yourself of sleep and ate calorie-dense foods.
Yep.
It's not the metabolism, it's the lifestyle.
It is the lifestyle. Go ahead, come on.
If 90% of your calorie intake came from meat, veggies, single-ingredient carbs, and fruit,
So what does it mean, single ingredient carbs? You have rice.
Right.
You have a potato. You have beans. You know what I'm saying? Things like that, right? Bread's okay in moderation, right? But that's not really single ingredient, right?
Right.
So I like the term that he used, single ingredient, because the carb in its form, right?
Okay.
It's usually potatoes, rice. I would count pasta as that because it's really only like wheat and
it's just-
water. You know, so I would count pasta with that too. But go ahead. And fruit, because you got people who like, fruit. I ain't never seen anybody get fat eating fruit.
right.
Ever.
Go ahead. Come on.
You'd physically
Now I see people get fat eating salads.
Ooh,
Damn.
because that
Dressing.
dressing.
Dressing's the number one culprit, but sometimes they got nuts and
and
cheese.
Oh, yeah, that
cheese.
part too,
yeah.
yo.
But go ahead, come on.
Yeah.
You'd physically and mentally be in better shape than 90% of the population.
Come on.
It's easier not to eat 100 calories than it is to burn 100 calories in the
that's
gym.
real.
And let me tell you, that's real talk. Go ahead, hit the next slide. He's gonna explain it.
It takes 60 seconds to eat 400 calories of ice cream.
Right. Or cake or treat
Oh,
or something like
hamburger.
that, right? Go ahead.
true.
That's to eat
Or
400
Pepsi.
calories.
Right.
Go ahead, come on.
It takes 60 minutes to burn 400 calories through running.
Right, 60
Damn.
minutes.
Lee.
No one's
burn
doing that.
400 calories through running.
10 times difference.
So for the 60 seconds it took you to eat that 400 calories of what you shouldn't have been eating, you think you're going to outwork it with your half-ass little workout that you do in the gym, because you ain't even working out right, most of y'all, right?
Dang.
Your little lightweight cardio that you do, right? Come on.
The worst way to lose weight is trying to exercise it off of your body.
Uh-huh.
Stop trying to lose weight with your workouts. Use your diet for that shit.
Go ahead, come on.
Calories determine how much you weigh. Macronutrients determine how your body looks.
Go ahead, come on.
Micronutrients determine how your mind and body feel.
Now stop. Get me the verse about a little is sufficient for men well nourished.
Right.
These three together embody this verse. All right? These three together embody this verse. You know, and I'm going to keep doing it because I know that there are people that listen, but most of y'all still don't listen. That's why you haven't hit your goals. That's why you don't have the body that you want. Hell, even I sometimes am like, the hell with it. I want to eat this. You know?
Oh, yeah.
I think I ate like 3,000 calories on Sunday. Took my son to White Castle because he was craving, so we went to Whitey's.
Oh, man.
Man, I went in.
Tore it
That's
up.
White Castle.
I never had White
I had
Castle.
some chocolate Twinkies with some milk.
Golly.
I had
Come on, bring it.
I had a
What about
chocolate
Jesus?
glazed
Come on.
donut.
Jesus.
Come on. What's your percentage?
15.8.
That's the benefit of being green, baby. You could do that and get away with it
15.8. Thing is, I don't do it
all the
hardly
time.
ever,
Yeah.
Right.
And it actually helped me because I wound up like I went up a little bit, but it's just water or whatever. Like
Right,
I
because
know
of the
game.
sodium and all that.
No, I'm back down to what I
Right.
was. You know, you don't
That's what it is.
overeat it like that.
Love it.
But
Yeah.
I enjoyed myself.
I bet.
myself. Read this verse. Come
The
on.
book of Sirach, chapter 31 and verse 19. A very little is sufficient for a man well nurtured, and he fetcheth not his wind short upon his bed.
Right. So it says a very little that goes into the knowing what your calorie consumption is, and you eat what you need for what your goal is. Right. Well nurtured. That goes into the macronutrients. So that means your carbs, your protein, right? The makeup of that determines how your body looks.
Right.
If you're just concerned about what you weigh, you can do a calorie deficit, all fruit, all veggies, but you're going to be lacking in protein. If you want to look a certain way, right, then you prioritize. And most people, the look that they're saying that they want, right, is going to be the look that's going to require high protein, high fiber, right, and weight training, like good weight training, right? And then the micronutrients, this is where you get your veggies and your fruit involved because that's where the bulk of your micronutrients come in. That's how your mind and body feels, right? People conflate them. So sometimes they'll focus on micronutrients and they'll do these all fruit or all vegetable stuff, right? I'm not talking about vegetarians or vegans. If you're doing, I've said this before, if you're doing it the right way, you'll account for the others so that all three are together.
Right.
So all three of these together makes up well nourished, right? Because some people just focus on the macronutrients and you do it with crap, right? But you're not going to feel good.
That's a good point.
Right? You're going to have different things going on inside your body that's not healthy, right? You can look fit and be all jacked up inside.
Fact.
Damn.
That's true.
That's a good point.
You can be green and have plaque in your arteries, high blood pressure, cholesterol. What about this epidemic of skinny diabetics? You think it's all fat people?
Right.
Right? There was a few brothers here that were slim and they were diabetic.
Right, that's right.
It's a lack of strength.
Right?
Yeah.
Man, that's
Hey, there's one brother that was actually pretty fit looking, and you would see him works out and everything, and he was diagnosed with diabetes, right? Damn. Because of the micronutrients weren't in check, right? So you got to consider all those. Go ahead, come on. There any more on this?
The 80-20 diet. Get 80% of your calories from whole, nutrient-dense, high-protein sources. Get 20% of your calories from whatever you want.
And that's pretty much how I tend to rock. You know, like you know, I don't beat myself up when I have an indulgence, right? It's old thinking to think that you got to do dry chicken breast and broccoli, and I'll tell you the old school
bodybuilders, boy.
Was boiled or grilled chicken and boiled potatoes.
I remember them. I remember.
Yeah, like
Hardly
it don't have to be like. Or I knew this one guy that would come in. He would get when I used to work in a pizza shop when I was in high school. He would get chicken cutlets and then pasta but no sauce.
Damn.
And if you look at tomato sauce, it's really not macronutrient wise unless you throw a ton of oil in it, right? It's really not bad. Like it's not a lot of calories. So like you can have flavor and still be okay.
Yeah.
Now it's easier when you eat some of the more basic stuff, right? Like Toby been on that rice and grilled chicken and broccoli, like
Right.
And it's mainly for the days that I pack my lunch to go to work. Because when I'm at the house, I got the fry cooker now. So I can switch it up.
yeah. Old school bodybuilders is true. Nobody said no season. They wouldn't even do a season
no,
back in the
no
day.
They did
season.
raw
Look at them
eggs
old
too.
school
I can't even do
bodybuilders.
I can't do
Yeah,
that.
Lee Priest. That's all he ate. Shoot.
Nah, he would eat like trash.
What? Lee Priest?
Yeah.
I remember seeing
No,
chicken breast
he would eat good, but he would also eat like trash. Like
on
when
his off season.
when he was bulking, he would eat like he loves McDonald's.
Word?
Bro, if you see pictures of Lee Priest when he bulked, you would not believe that that's the same guy that had that freaking ripped ass physique when he was in contest mode. Dang. Bro, look up Lee Priest bulking and you're gonna crack the hell up, bro. Cause he's 5'4". He's like my height.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look him up too.
And he was this little puff
like Lee
marshmallow
Priest.
man just kind of walking around. Look at him, Lee Priest bulking. But it goes to show you a testament to his discipline when he would cut.
Right. So his
That'd be
cutting
a
season,
big-
he's just on it.
He was insane, bro. He was insane, right? He didn't really win any Olympias. He won like other shows and stuff like that. Yeah, that's not even the worst bulk that you've seen him in.
Oh, you're right.
That's
He
not
did
even
a
the
dirty
worst
bulk.
right?
Wow.
So he would go from that to that, right? But that's not even his best form. on that one either.
That's
So-
when he was younger too, I think.
Yeah, nah,
Way
you gotta
younger.
look up some of his other bulking stuff. He looks crazy,
Australian
right?
dude.
And that's not that you like no way that's the same guy. That's the same guy, right? And he was younger there, but you know, of course, drugs played a role. All those guys on the stage are on drugs and stuff
Hell
like
yeah.
that. But
He started when he was young.
But you could be
too.
on drugs and be nasty. I mean, he was on drugs and that fat. So
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like the drugs don't make you lean and stuff like that. But
Still gotta be disciplined.
anyway, go ahead. Come on.
Get your body in shape. Prioritize your family, manage your emotions, make money, and have awesome experiences. Everything else is empty calories.
Right, and I'll look at it like this, right? Like this goes into the other aspects of what we build. Remember, I have the 4 pillars, right, that I talk about, right? The spiritual foundation first, right? More than anything else. And then you get your sleep and your exercise and your diet together. But under the spiritual goes into managing your emotions, making money. Notice how he mentions manage your emotions, you know?
Yeah.
Some of you guys are all ripped up, bulky dudes and your babies. Look in the mirror and your freaking babies. Damn, that hurt, huh? I said, baby, is that it? Is that it on
I think it
that,
was
with the
one
slides?
Yeah.
Oh, that's it. No, he's just pushing his pushing his thing. You're
Dan
good.
go, huh?
All right, Dan
Dan
go. Nah, but he worded it pretty good. He worded it pretty good. Show me what we got with the Venezuela stuff, right? I think I'm gonna start with that Trump article.
He's about to get mad.
Start with that Trump article. Yes, sir. Yeah. So, all right. So, you know, I did the show on Venezuela, right? I did the show on Venezuela. And I told y'all got to keep an eye on what's going on with that, right? I said y'all got to keep an eye on what's happening there. I got to see how much of this I'm going to get in, all right? I also remember where I put the explanation after this post, Venezuela never took U.S. land and all of that, okay? Yeah, just have that ready, okay? So I saw this on my social feed was it yesterday?
Yesterday.
And I was so pissed off.
Man,
Like this is beyond what I thought the approach would have been. But then I thought in the scriptures and it reminded me, right, of how they are and what they do. Let's read this.
Donald J. Trump. Venezuela is completely surrounded by the largest armada ever assembled in the history of South America. It will only get bigger, and the shock to them will be like nothing they have ever seen before.
Pause one moment. So I kind of knew something was coming because he declared fentanyl a weapon of mass destruction prior to what he typed here. And, I tell you, a lot of you guys, give me that Thessalonians about we don't sleep as others do. I want to read that. I tell you, brothers and sisters, all the time, y'all worried about Diddy and your is it 1 Thessalonians 5?
I think it's second. Let me see. Sleep as others do, huh?
You got 5 and...
Like we're not in the day.
yeah,
like
this is verse 6.
Oh, it's 5.
The book of 1 Thessalonians, chapter 5 and verse 6.
Start at 4.
Verse 4. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. Ye are all the children of light, and the children of the light. Ye are all the children of the light, and the children of the day. We are not of the night, nor of darkness.
Come on.
Therefore, let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober.
Right. Let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. Come on. And what are we watching for?
The signs of the time.
For Christ.
That's the mechanisms. What are we ultimately watching for? Signs of our redemption.
Right. Jesus
Prophecies.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
Right?
Yeah.
The signs of our redemption are things happening in the earth, right? That we could say, now is our salvation nearer than we believed, right? Go ahead, come on.
Verse 7. For they that sleep, sleep in the night.
No, read 6 again.
Verse 6. Therefore, let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober.
Right. So here's the thing. Don't just watch, right? Because some people, they just like, oh, I'm all into everything that's going on in the earth. What's the be sober part?
Meaning have your mind clear in the righteousness.
Yeah, that's part of it.
Look through the Bible, the eyes of the Bible.
That's part of it.
Be sober, meaning, like it says in Peter's, have that sober mind. You're always ready. You're
Don't
equipped.
be drunk with sin. Don't be drunk in stupidness, right? Remember in Jeremiah it says we're sottish children, right? Get that, is it 3 or 4? Jeremiah 3 or 4? I forget which chapter it is. I'm gonna show you why it says be sober, because you watch. Because are there camps? Well, no, nobody's really doing prophecy, but
422.
Only IUIC really does prophecy. Though, if you really think about it, none of these other camps do
Yeah.
prophecy,
Right.
And
Like,
especially like
damn.
new, and especially like
You really,
current
if,
prophecy.
no, if you really look at it, none of these other camps do. And it's not
Yeah,
to, it's not to
man.
make beef with the camps. It's just to kind of show you where the Spirit of the Lord resides, right?
All right.
If you don't know what to watch for, right? You know.
Yeah, tune in.
Right.
Read this in Jeremiah, right? I want to explain the sober part, and then I'm gonna bring it all together. Go ahead.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 4 and verse 22. For my people is foolish. They have not known me. They are sottish children and have none understanding.
Right. So now he's gonna explain what sottish children are. Keep reading.
They are wise to do evil.
They are wise to sin. They are wise to do evil. Go ahead. Come on.
But to do good, they have no knowledge.
There's no sobriety, right? Can you look up sottish? Because I don't just want to say it, right? People need to see what sottish is, right?
Stupid.
Sottish means dull, stupid, or foolish, often due to excessive drinking or a willful ignorance.
Come on.
Describing someone who is senseless, doltish, or behaves like a drunkard.
The behavior part is what I want. So he's using alcohol to put a similitude of what it's like when we are in evil and we're wise to do evil, when we're in sin,
Drunken with
right?
wine.
We're right. So we're basically sottish. We're drunken with stupidness. We're drunken with sin, right? That's why I wanted you to read that second verse in there. What
And
were you
that's
gonna say?
like with the wine of the wrath of his fornication. Like
Right,
the same
right.
thing.
Same thing, right? Same thing. Dealing with, right? So they use alcohol as that parallel, right?
Parallel, yeah.
Because what do a lot of people use alcohol for? As a defense, right? Oh, I was drunk. Oh, I drank too much, right? So now let's go back to 1 Thessalonians. Come on.
The book of 1 Thessalonians, chapter 5 and verse 6. Therefore, let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober.
So it's not just that you need to be watchful and know the signs of our redemption being near, but there should be an action behind it of sobriety, which is basically keep repenting, keeping those commandments, especially as you see the day approaching, right? And as he goes on in the rest of Thessalonians, I brought this out before. I bring it out all the time because it always frustrates me that, you know, I mean, we just had a brother here who's all Mr. Prophecy head, right? And has all types of things going on with him. And then we had to, you know, do an intervention with him to try to fix his situation, right? It happens over and over and over again. You're so, it's not saying that you don't know about those things, but you should have done one and not forget the other. Right?
Yep.
And what happens is you fall into that pharisaical spirit where you put your emphasis on one thing and not the other. Right?
Hypocrites.
And then you become a hypocrite, right?
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, yeah, man, I got this precept and I got that precept, but then your behavior doesn't support what you know.
Exactly.
Right? So that's why it says, watch and be sober, right? Watch and be sober. Come on.
For they that sleep, sleep in the night. And they that be drunken are drunken in the night.
Right. So he's saying if you're not sober, you're not gonna be able to really know the signs of the salvation that's coming, the signs of the time of our redemption, right? He says, them that be drunken, they're drunk in the night. They're in darkness. Regardless of what you think you memorized of a breakdown that was given to you, right? Because it wasn't revelation. It was a breakdown that was given to you, and you want to parakeet it, right? You are not in the right with that because you are not in a sober mind, right? So, and the sober mind is dealing with repentance, keeping yourself clean, right? That's the parallel that it uses, all right? Go ahead.
Verse 8, but let us, who are of the day, be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, and for an helmet, the hope of salvation.
Right. So anyway, read 9 because it goes to what I'm saying where it says, what are we watching for? Go ahead. Come on.
For God hath not appointed us to wrath,
To destruction, those of us that are of the light. Go ahead. Come on.
but to obtain salvation by our Lord Jesus
That's
Christ.
what we're watching for, right? That's what we're watching for. Yes, the symptoms of it are the signs of the times and things like that. But what are we really watching for? The salvation that comes in Christ, right? Redemption. So, right, I say that to say that a lot of you don't pay attention to these things that are happening, right? I posted it last night in the chat that we got with the deacons and the bishops, and I was pissed. I said, damn, this mother, when we finish reading it, you're going to see. And Deacon Isaac said it perfectly, and he said, great. He said, let it happen. Let it reveal itself. They're hastening Christ's return.
Yeah.
Right? And I was like, you know what? He's right. All praises to the Most High. But it still pissed me the hell off.
Yeah.
Bro, I was furious last
Yeah,
night. I'm not as
yeah,
mad
he
now.
was.
I wish. See, I don't know, man. I gotta start going live for commentary on the show page or stuff like that. Because sometimes, like in the moment when something hits me, that's when I get
That would have been, yeah.
right. That would have been a good time to
Would've
just
been more
kind of
powerful.
right, sit on the couch and just do a video real quick.
Right.
But let's go back because people don't know what I'm mad about.
Let's get it.
Read
Until such
it
ti-
from the top.
Venezuela is completely surrounded by the largest armada ever assembled in the history of South America. It will only get bigger, and the shock to them will be like nothing they have ever seen before. Until such time as they return to the United States of America all of the oil, land, and other assets that they previously stole from us.
Stop,
Wait, no way,
stop,
boy.
Wait, stop for a second. Stop. First of all, we should have some sound bites.
That's
Yeah,
what I was
what the
waiting for
hell?
right now. Just
There
now.
should be something going on there.
They must be in cahoots.
They must be in cahoots. Y'all in cahoots with Donald Trump?
Damn.
Claude, have mercy.
Do you? No, sir. Read that part again because I don't think anybody at home.
Man, just went over their head. That's crazy work.
What did he just say about a sovereign nation?
Right.
He said
About the tribe of Asher, our brothers,
Right.
our
They-
kinsmen according to the flesh? Wait, before you speak, read it again.
Until such time as they return to the United States of America all of the oil, land, and other assets that they previously stole from us.
I thought
Crazy
Venezuela
word.
was Venezuela, not the United States.
Exactly.
I thought Venezuela, that was Venezuela's oil. I thought those assets were Venezuela's assets. I thought that was their land.
So he must be saying Venezuela came into the U.S.
Bro,
and
if
stole
this
it from the
ain't-
U.S.
He might be black
Bruh.
because when Judah would rob you around the block, they'd be like, "Yo, give me
my
Yeah,
shoes.
run 'em.
give
Run 'em.
give me my kicks." Like, what you talking about? These ain't your kicks.
Right. He's a.
Yeah,
Bruh.
run them
Run
sleeves.
those
Run
things.
them,
You know, if you would have Judite that robbed brothers, or you know what I'm talking about. Or if you were the victim of the Jew, because that's and I'm not saying they're the only ones that rob. Mexicans rob, all right, everybody else.
We get your boy.
But Judah do it like this.
Man.
They'd be
Yeah.
like, yo,
What size
Got
are
my
those?
kicks on.
Yeah.
Yo, where my
shirt.
kicks?
yo,
Run those things.
or they'll do the subtle one. They'll come by, they'll stick the knife in your hip, and they'll be like, yo, run that real quick. Don't say nothing, just run it.
Just run.
Don't say nothing, just run it.
Bro, he already named the
don't
oil
even
as
realize
his.
you
Oh,
getting
that's
robbed.
crazy, bro.
Bro, they just celebrated Thanksgiving, fam.
The land is the crazy part.
That is the
That's what I'm
Debo.
saying.
That is
land.
the Debo. That's
bro.
exactly what
Damn.
it is. If that ain't the Debo, bro, I
Where's the
I
song?
said,
Where's the
wait
music?
a second. Now that's yours?
Right.
Yo.
Now it was stolen from you?
Yo,
Like, are
run
you
that.
like? Listen, and anybody who don't know, I grew up in the Bronx in New York City, so nobody get offended when I say it is what it is, bro. All right?
Yeah.
That's how Judah used to rob you.
You right. You right.
That's how Judah used to rob
run
you.
them
All
J's,
right?
yo.
At least in the
What
Bronx.
Size, what size are those?
You know somebody
Bruh.
gonna be all offended and be like, "Why are you saying that?" That's okay. Mexicans rob too, but it
Yeah.
ain't like that. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, yep.
That's
That's
Trump.
exactly it.
exactly
Trump in the
what he
spirit.
did.
That's Trump. You just gotta do that with Trump's face. Like, see,
Right.
if,
Oh, yeah,
see if
put it
AI could do a face like that, but for Trump, that
Bruh.
would be so dope. That's the Debo, right?
Debo Trump.
Right. Bro, go back to the thing. Go back to the thing.
crazy.
All right. Read that part again. Until what?
Until such time as they return to the United States of America all of the oil, land, and other assets that they previously stole from us.
Come on. Damn.
The illegitimate Maduro regime is using oil from these stolen oil fields to finance themselves. Drug terrorism, human trafficking, murder, and kidnapping. For the theft of our assets and many other reasons, including terrorism, drug smuggling, and human trafficking, the Venezuelan regime has been designated a foreign terrorist organization.
Wow.
Dig.
Look how he
All
throws
to
those words in there.
escalate moves.
Damn.
All to escalate moves. Go ahead.
Is he saying go back? Is he saying that little Esmeralda, that's like 3 years old, in the marketplace with her mama, is a terrorist?
Yes.
That is crazy work.
Bro, these are all trigger. This is like trigger
Yes.
word. Like,
Yo!
this is
Notice,
trigger
notice
alert, bro.
how many
that
times
suspicious.
he mentions human trafficking,
Right.
Right.
murder,
Murder,
kidnap.
He
That's-
mentions it twice in the same paragraph.
Yes.
drugs, war on drugs. Like, bro,
You know
this
what's
is-
funny? That's everything that you find here in this country.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Snowfall. They got all kind of TV shows about how the contra movement and all this stuff was going on.
Right.
Get me Isaiah 42:22 real quick. We gotta read the second part of this. Isaiah 42:22. Come on, read
Book
that.
of Isaiah, chapter 42, and verse 22. Read out. But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes.
Right, because we're all caught up. I mean, listen, this is happening because of our sin.
Right.
The sins of our forefathers and our sin. I didn't know that one needed a bomb, but okay. I mean,
Jesus.
Boy, they so out of whack. Like
We're going to bomb our destruction, our downfall, our deficiencies.
He come back laughing. Where you?
What is happening? Damn.
Well, this is our calamity. You in this too.
Wow. I'm telling you that.
You want to know what's hilarious
They're in
about
cahoots,
it? I'm
bro.
going to tell you for me what's hilarious about it. They can be so on point, right? Like they were during the Sabbath class.
Right.
And it's the same team.
Right.
And then that team comes in here and they're just freaking wet in the bed.
Dang.
They're just wet in the bed. Their timing is terrible.
Jesus.
They just figured because I got on them, they're nervous. I think somebody's finger was
Yeah.
there.
Push your button. Push your button.
And I don't think he meant to hit it, and he just hit the button. Read this verse again. Come on.
Verse 22. But this is a people robbed and spoiled.
Right. I mean, come on. You see what they're doing here. Go ahead. Come on.
They are all of them snared in holes,
Uh-huh.
and they are hid in prison houses. They are for a prey,
They are for a prey.
Right.
Go ahead. Come on.
and none delivereth.
And none delivereth. Right. And that's why I say we watch for what? Our Redeemer. Right.
Right.
But come on. Keep reading.
For a spoil,
Uh-huh.
and none saveth.
Look up the definition for a spoil. See what that is so we can explain that properly. And none say restore. Restore. Right?
And
Who can?
None shall buy you.
Who can?
Christ.
Well, yeah.
I don't know. In my Bible,
But
restore
no man.
is capitalized.
Yeah.
Right?
But no man right now
Because
can say
res-
restore.
Right. No.
We need Christ.
But here's what. That actually goes to Romans 10, though, where it says, how will they know if they haven't been sent? How beautiful are the feet? We're the ones that come and say restore.
Damn.
Come back to your heritage. We're the ones that say, this is who you are according to the scriptures. You're from the 12 tribes of Israel. You're from this tribe according to the scriptures. And this is what we need to do to be restored, right? That goes with Amos 9, right? Get that real quick.
Okay.
Get Amos 9 as they look up the definition of spoil. Get Amos 9. And I think 11
About the
start
breach?
at, right?
The book of Amos, chapter 9 and verse 11.
Uh-huh.
That day will I raise up the tabernacle of David.
Right, he's going to raise up the tabernacle of David. We're dealing with the restore. Go ahead, come on.
That is fallen,
Uh-huh.
and close up the breaches thereof.
Right, what's the breaches? Northern and southern kingdom are divided, right? But in that day, he's going to make things happen that we're going to see our affliction and see that we're stronger united versus divided. Go ahead, come on.
And I will raise up his ruins,
Uh-huh.
and I will build it.
Who are the ruins? He's not talking about raising up the buildings and the temples that were there. The ruins is us. We are in ruin. I just read that we're robbed and spoiled, right? So you're going to see our identities robbed. Our resources are robbed, right? There's people who blaspheme the name, like you read in Revelation 13, right? It says that they blasphemed his name and his people and all of that, right? Go ahead, come on.
And I will raise up his ruins,
Uh-huh.
and I will build it as in the days of old.
United, one kingdom together, right? Because under David, we were restored.
people.
Go ahead, one people. Go ahead, come on.
That they may possess the remnant of Edom,
Uh-huh.
and of all the heathen, which are called by my name.
Right, that's Amalek. Who are the heathen that's called by his name? The ones that say they are Jews and are not, but do lie,
and
right?
Ashdod.
So it's not just Amalek that we're gonna get. It says all the remnants of Edom and all the heathen that
all
are
the
called by
heathen.
my name, right? And all that were in league with them. Is that it on that verse?
Saith the Lord that doeth.
Right, saith the Lord that doeth, because ultimately it's him. But what do? How beautiful are the feet of them that come and bring those glad tidings. Because we're telling our people that, right?
Yes.
That goes with Hosea 1, 10 and 11, and where they said, you're not my people. There it'll be said, you're the sons of the living
Yeah, you
God.
cooking.
Right.
That's twofold. Us as teachers are saying telling our people they're the sons of the living God, and then that Wisdom of Solomon 5, when it comes into fulfillment, that's the confirmation that these are the sons of the living
going-
God,
they're
right?
gonna declare
How
that thing.
strange was their salvation, right? So all these verses kind of come into play now in your head when you look at that, right? Now, definition of spoil. Definition of spoil.
The definition of spoil: diminish or destroy the value or quality of.
Diminish or destroy the value or quality of. We are in ruins, like we read in Amos 9. Why? We're in Christianity. We're in politics. We're on drugs. We're whoremongers, no marriages, broken homes, abusers of alcohol, abusers of ourselves with mankind. All the litany of sins that you can read about, right? We're flawed. We're scarred.
Blemished.
Right? Blemished.
Ruined.
Right?
Wrecked.
Look at the second definition. Come on.
Harm the character of someone, especially a child, by being too.
Now it says being too lenient or indulgent, right? That's where you spoil them, right? But the point is, spoil still harms the character of something, is the point that I want to make, right?
Can I read something for you?
Yeah, go ahead.
The book of Lamentations, chapter 4 and verse 1. How is the gold become dim? How is the most fine gold changed? The stones of the sanctuary are poured out in the top of every street.
Yep.
The precious sons of Zion, comparable to fine gold. How are they esteemed as earthen pitchers, the work of the hands of the potter?
That's fire. Go back to the Trump thing. Go back to the Trump thing. Come on. Y'all got to move quicker for me. Don't be back there sleeping. Oh, no, he puts up dang go. Close the shit when we're done with it. Pardon my language. Pissing me off. It's small mistakes, but they're going to become big ones. Focus. Lock in. Go to the illegitimate again, because it goes with the verse you just read and robbed and spoiled. Go ahead. Come on.
The illegitimate Maduro regime.
Use words like illegitimate to imply that it's not rightfully set up.
Right.
Or being managed or stewarded correctly. Go ahead, come on.
Is using oil from these stolen.
There's another slander. There's another spoilage. That we stole it. Come on.
Oil fields to finance themselves. Drug terrorism.
Another slander.
Human trafficking.
Another slander.
Murder.
Another one.
And kidnapping.
Another one. Robbed and spoiled. Go ahead, come on.
For the theft of our assets.
Now we're thieves. Go ahead, come on.
And many other reasons.
Come on, continue.
Including terrorism, drug smuggling, and human trafficking. The Venezuelan regime has been designated a foreign terrorist organization.
Come on, next slide.
Therefore, today, I am ordering a total and complete blockade of all sanctioned oil tankers going into and out of Venezuela.
So that means Cuba is not going to get oil because they deal with Venezuela. That means China's not going to get their oil because that's how Venezuela's been making money, selling to China. Right. And Russia has their own oil, but I think they support them too. Anybody that does business with them, right? Go ahead, come on.
The illegal aliens and criminals that the Maduro regime has sent into the United States.
Yeah, he sent them. It wasn't that you went in and destabilized the whole place and created the environment in Latin America with your Monroe Doctrine and your Roosevelt corollary, with your big stick, right? And you guys can get that picture ready. Don't put it up yet so that I can see what's being read. Go ahead, come on.
During the weak and inept Biden administration,
come on,
are being returned to Venezuela at a rapid pace. America will not allow criminals, terrorists, and or other countries to rob, threaten, or harm our nation.
Which Venezuela is doing none of those. Go ahead, come on.
And likewise, will not allow a hostile regime to take our oil, land, or any other assets, all of which must be returned to the United States.
That's crazy.
Immediately. Thank
Damn.
you for your attention to this matter. Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America.
Now, there was another article I put. We're going to read the explanation. Show the big stick. This is him. Show the big stick picture, right? That's Roosevelt with the Roosevelt corollary, right? The big stick in the Caribbean Sea, right?
Look at that. Santo Domingo,
Look at that.
Cuba.
Right. So this is the Caribbean, but they're doing this. Look, it says Venezuela. Do you see in the upper right? It says Venezuela.
Right corner,
All right.
Yep.
Venezuela, Panama, right? The receiver, debt collector, the sheriff, right? Letting you know all those little boats, that's the armada that's surrounding them, right? Cuba is listed there. And look, disrespectful with his bare feet walking all over there. That's why Christ's going to come back and tread him with his, like Bishop Yawasa said, with his big black feet.
Big black ones.
Tread him like the wine press, right?
That's gonna be a beautiful day.
And that's the big stick right there, right? Going into that. We've mentioned that. I'm not gonna go into it too much. And here's the interesting thing. We're gonna watch the video, the Jon Stewart video, in a minute, right? We're gonna watch the Jon Stewart video in a minute. And before we do that, read Micah 2:1-2. Read Micah 2:1-2.
The book of Micah, chapter 2 and verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds.
Because that's evil as hell, bro. What he put out, that thing, yo,
Shit
I
crazy.
was furious for a little while, bro.
Hell yeah,
I was pissed off. I said, yo, the audacity
The caucasity.
to be like, yo, this is, and let me tell you, it's not the first time.
Right.
Because when we watch the Jon Stewart video, you're gonna see they said the same thing when they wanted to invade Iraq. It's the same MO.
Wow.
And
So they playing the same game.
They don't have to come up with a new play because who's gonna bring them down to the
Right.
ground?
They had the same play. The same thing was happening with Amalek in Israel. What's their leader's name?
Netanyahu.
He's been saying the same thing for the past. They had videos for like
Bibi.
the
Bibi. His name is
Yeah.
Bibi.
Talking about in
Bibi
regards to Iran?
Netanyahu.
right.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Come on, read this.
Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice.
He just did it on the morning is light. You can't get no morning is light than posting that thing on social media.
Right.
Go ahead, come on. In the broad daylight. Come on.
Because it is in the power of their hand.
Because
Right.
the earth is given into the hands of the
Perfectly.
wicked. That's the power of their hands.
To
Yeah.
frame mischief by law.
That's Job 9. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. That's the power in their hands, right? Hey, let me show you something else because it's in the power of their hands. Give me that in Luke when Satan tempted Christ. And what did he say to him? It's in my power to do all these things. I just want that verse. I just want that verse. And if they ain't not the devil the Bible speaks of, yes, you want to say that's racist or whatever it is, that's Bible. Freaking Apollopathetics in the wings watching, waiting to say something. Is it Luke 4 when he goes
Luke
into the
5,
temptation?
I'm trying to find the exact verse.
Let me look for it too.
Luke 4 and 6.
It's Luke 4.
Verse
Uh-huh.
6.
Yep.
The book of St. Luke, chapter 4 and verse 6. And the devil
So wait, we lost the point. Read Micah 2 and 1 again so you can see the connection that I'm making.
The book of Micah, chapter 2 and verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds.
Come on.
When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand.
They can do this and nobody's going to stop them. People are going to talk against it, but it's going to go down. Right? And guess what? They're going to act all, this is how you know they're all full of crap. Because they're going to act all astonished, right? And I'm talking about the nations that are not the Israelite nations, right? They're going to act all astonished, but they're all going to reap from it, right?
Yeah.
And when we read
Yeah,
Revelation 18 and a little later, you're going to see. They're all going to benefit from ultimately, but they're going to feign offense. They're going to
Right.
feign astonishment at what's being happened. They're going to verbally condemn it, but once it's done, they are all going to partake. They are all going to partake. But the part that I want you to think about is in Micah said, because it is in the power of their hand. Because why? The earth is given into the hand of the wicked, starting with the chief of that, which is Satan himself, and his ministers is Edom, right? And the other nations behind him. Read Luke 4 and 6.
The book of St. Luke, chapter 4 and verse 6. And the devil said unto him, all this power will I give thee, and the glory of them.
Why?
For that is delivered unto me, and to whomsoever I will, I give it.
This was after he tempted him and said, I'll give you all these kingdoms. I'll give you all this stuff. This is how he tried to tempt Christ. Right? He says, for that is delivered unto me. Damn. Right? That's what's given unto him. And it's not that he's some adversary or anything like that. Later on, as we go into the series, we talk about that. I don't remember which episode, but we go into that a little bit. And we run it back and we show how Satan is not some opposite. God cannot be omnipotent if he has an enemy that can do anything to him.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Stop it.
You're not right. Omnipotent is all powerful. You cannot be omnipotent and have an adversary
Yeah, that doesn't make
that
no
can
sense.
fight you
Right.
on equal footing.
Right.
That's crazy.
It doesn't work. Right? That's why Christianity's so busted and our people leave because they don't understand
Yeah, a
how
bunch of fairy tales
right?
and
That whole thing, blaming it on Satan. Yeah, Satan has a role and he does certain things, but nothing is not done without God's consent.
Right.
Right? And you read that in Job 1, right?
Right.
Too. Yep.
But go ahead, come on, read that again. For that is delivered. That part, for that is
For
delivered.
that is delivered unto me, and to whomsoever I will, I give it.
Right. So let's go back to Micah 2. Who did he give it to?
The book of Micah, chapter 2 and verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds.
Come on.
When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand.
Right. Come on.
And they covet fields.
They covet the oil fields.
Right.
They want the fields that have the minerals and the assets in it. Go ahead. Come on.
and take them, by violence.
And they're ready to go in. Look, what did he start with? The largest armada ever assembled is surrounding them. Right? Go ahead, come on.
And houses. And take them away.
Oh, you better give that land and our assets, right? Back to us. Our land, our assets. Go ahead, come on.
So they oppress a man and his house.
They oppressing the Venezuelans and their land. Go ahead, come on.
Even a man and his heritage.
Now, you're basically saying that what's the heritage? That's his inheritance. And guess what? The heritage is also our identity.
That's right.
So now we're terrorists and no good, but they won't ever acknowledge that we're the Israelites, right? Wicked and evil as hell. Play the Jon Stewart video.
Eerie is the Iraq parallel? Well, we got one guy making the same case for both wars. And yes, it's who you think.
Saddam Hussein's a threat to my country. He's a threat to our way of life. He needs to go.
Maduro is an existential threat to the people of the United States.
It is time for Maduro to go.
Hit me with the works. Iraq, Venezuela, go!
We're giving them full opportunity to do it the easy way. And when it doesn't work, we'll do it the hard way.
If we can do things the easy way, that's fine. And if we have to do it the hard way, that's fine too.
Chemical weapons is a threat to the United States.
Fentanyl poses a chemical weapons threat to the United States.
Al-Qaeda terrorists inside Iraq.
Al-Qaeda of our hemisphere.
If we can get rid of Saddam, it could really begin to transform the region.
There's an opportunity to transform the entire region.
Bringing freedom and democracy.
Democracy and freedom
can serve as a beacon of hope.
Shock and awe.
Shock and awe, indeed. If you think this is getting confusing, you're not alone. Even senators can't keep these Bush or Trump wars straight. This is Senator Tom Cotton from this weekend.
I think President Bush has every power under the Constitution to strike votes in international waters.
Oopsie poopsie.
He said Bush instead of Trump. Go ahead, come on.
The largest reserves of oil in the world.
Venezuela that has a rich, talk about rich natural energy resources.
Massive oil reserve. They have gold. They have rare earths.
Oil, gold, and minerals.
And I'm sure there are U.S. companies that would like to do business there.
Venezuela for the American oil companies will be a field day.
I didn't think this war was a wise decision, but if it helps the oil companies smile again.
And America first means we need a Western hemisphere where America is dominant.
If you're focused on America and America first, you start with your own hemisphere where we live.
America first also means the Americas first.
South America literally has the name America in it.
Eerie.
Yo, that's their justification.
The hell is this?
That's their justification. Let me get Habakkuk 2 and 3. Let me get Habakkuk 2. We're going to start at 3. Come on. Come on. You're taking too long.
The book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time.
Come on.
But
why am I starting here? Because we read Thessalonians that we got to watch. We got to see, right? We spoke about seeing those signs. Go ahead. Come on.
But at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it. Because it will surely come, it will not tarry.
Right. And when it says wait for it, it means in your sobriety, you wait for it and look at I'm pissed as hell when I see this, right? And I know maybe some of you can't relate, but let me try to put it to you this way, right? If you're Northern Kingdom, you certainly should be pissed about this. Just like you're pissed when you see the stuff, how they exploit Africa.
Right.
Because it's the same thing that they're doing.
Right.
We're one people, right? It pisses me off when I see what they do to Africa, right? And guess what? There's still Northern Kingdom in Africa, a lot, right? It's not just Southern Kingdom, but even in our minds, we're still so polluted that if this doesn't incite you or make you pissed off, it's because you don't see us still as one people and one cause.
That's real.
It's the same shit that they've done in Africa. They're doing it, and they continue to do it here in the Western Hemisphere.
It's like a playbook that they use.
It's the same playbook that they use over and over and over again. Go ahead, read.
Verse 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him.
Come on.
But the just shall live by his
We're
faith.
going to see that his not upright, but we're the just. We're going to live by faith that what? The vision is for an appointed time. And these things are happening.
Yeah.
They must happen.
Right.
These things must be met so that the end can progress closer to where it needs to be. Go ahead. Come on, read.
Yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home.
You gotta have balls of brass, and you gotta be proud as hell to be able to go ahead and make the statement that you make and make those declarations, and nobody stops you.
Openly.
Right.
Openly. Go ahead, come on.
Who enlargeth his desire as hell and is as death and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations and heapeth unto him all people.
Right. So it says he cannot be satisfied. He cannot be satisfied. And you see that when you see the way that they was bringing that out. When you see the way that they was bringing that out, right? Is this the next article that I had in line? Let's go to that. We could read that so you can understand a little more what happened. Come on.
We want it back. Trump asserts U.S. claims to Venezuelan oil and land. President Trump's order of a partial blockade on oil tankers going to and from Venezuela and his claim that
Caracas
stole oil, land, other assets from the United States mark a significant escalation of Washington's unrelenting campaign against the government of President Nicolas Maduro. Asked about Venezuela on Wednesday, Trump said the United States will be getting land, oil rights, and whatever we had. We want it back, he said without further elaboration. It was unclear whether Trump planned to say more about Venezuela in a televised address to the nation.
Yeah, he's supposed to be talking tonight. So I don't know. He's supposed to be talking tonight. Go ahead, come on.
Late Wednesday night. The blockade, which aims to cripple the key component of Venezuela's faltering, oil-dependent economy, comes as the Trump administration has bolstered military forces in the Caribbean, blown up more than 24 boats allegedly ferrying illicit drugs in both the Caribbean and the Pacific, and threatened military strikes on Venezuela and neighboring Colombia. Venezuela is completely surrounded by the largest armada ever assembled in the history of South America, Trump said in a rambling post Tuesday night on his social media site. It will only get bigger, and the shock to them will be like nothing they have ever seen before. Not long after Trump announced the blockade Tuesday night, the government of Venezuela denounced the move and his other efforts as an attempt to rob the riches that belong to our people.
Scroll, let me see if we're going to read any more on this. No, okay. I don't need to see that. Hold on, let me see. Go ahead, you can read that. You can read that. Oh,
Jesus.
You and your slipping fingers. Gee. Yes, scroll down. You had it right there. Leaders, come on.
Leaders of the Latin American nations leaders of other Latin American nations called for calm, and United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres, after a phone call with Maduro, called on UN members to exert restraint and de-escalate tensions to preserve regional stability.
Yes, it's not going to happen, right? And if something gets delayed for now, their intent is to go in there. Jump to where it says the bill's passage.
The bill's passage came a day after Hegseth and Secretary Marco Rubio briefed lawmakers on Capitol Hill about the U.S. military campaign. The meetings left lawmakers with a mixed reaction, largely with Republicans backing the campaign and Democrats expressing concern about
Remember that part, because the next clip that we're going to see, you're going to see that, right? Go ahead, come on, the White House.
The White House has said its military campaign in Venezuela is meant to curb drug trafficking. But U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration data show that Venezuela is a relatively minor player in the U.S.-bound narcotics trade.
Right. Now go to the other one that I put in the thing what I wanted next. I don't know if you guys are checking the chat. Go to that one. Yes. Okay. Let me show now. Let's show that one. Is there a video on this one? Maybe we could watch the video and get to the point. Scroll down. Nope. Don't click that. Yes, click that video. Make sure you have volume.
So I just came from this classified briefing, the first that I have received, that the full Senate has received.
So stop 1 second. I'm sorry. Remember, they're saying that they're major drugs. They're saying it's fentanyl, right? Because that's the trigger one, right? Listen to what he says about the meeting. Go ahead.
The military strikes in the Caribbean and in the Eastern Pacific. Well, I obviously can't tell you any classified information I learned. I can tell you this, that the administration had no legal justification for these strikes and had no national security justification for these strikes. Let me just get to the question of the national security justification. What they did admit is that there's no fentanyl coming to the United States from Venezuela. Venezuela is mainly exporting cocaine, but almost all of the...
You hear what he just said?
Yeah.
They know that there's no fentanyl. But he's declaring fentanyl, weapons of mass destruction,
Weapons of mass
chemical
destruction.
warfare,
Terrorism.
and he's going to try to go in based on that. But their data shows that there's no fentanyl. It's cocaine.
Cocaine.
And it's mostly going to Europe.
Right.
Right.
Or his son's pocket.
Go ahead.
Cocaine that is coming out of Venezuela into the Caribbean isn't going to the United States, it's going to Europe. And so we are spending billions of your taxpayer dollars to wage a war in the Caribbean to stop cocaine from going from Venezuela to Europe. That is a massive waste of national security resources and of your taxpayer dollars. What we also learned is that there's no legal justification for what is happening right now in the Caribbean and in the Eastern Pacific. The president in this briefing, his Secretary of Defense and Secretary of State, said that the justification legally is that these cartels are designated by the president as terrorist organizations. Okay, the president does have the ability to designate certain groups as terrorist organizations, but that does not give him the ability or the authorization to carry out military strikes. A designated terrorist organization allows the president to impose sanctions on those organizations and those individuals or deny passports to the leaders of those organizations. Only Congress, only the American public can authorize war, and there is just no question that these are acts of war that the U.S. military is undertaking. So that's the bottom line, is that this briefing, which by the way was only about 45 minutes long, the shortest classified briefing that I have ever been a part of, they scurried out of there before they could actually get asked any tough questions. The bottom line is that this briefing made it clear that there is no legal justification for what is happening in the Caribbean, and there is absolutely no national security justification.
So they know it.
The hell is
read
this?
it. You might as well read it. You've quoted it a few times. You might as well read it and then get me that Instagram response that Venezuela put out. We're going to read that after we read this verse.
The book of Psalms, chapter 94.
Read it for you.
Go ahead.
The book of Psalms, chapter 94 and verse 20. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by a law?
I mean, because first of all, they letting you know we don't have no legal justification, no national security justification. It's just because we said so. We're claiming that we're saying that these claims are true, even though they're not, and we sticking by that, and they're gonna have all of their minions support that in the background, like Deacon said, but they're gonna have their hands up like this until they benefit from it.
Yep, absolutely. Let's show this Instagram, and we'll go through these slides. Actually, you could just go straight to the response. We know that he declared Venezuelan oil. Go ahead, click. We read that already. This is what I wanted. Now, okay, read it from the top.
Venezuela stands.
No, read it from the very top.
Bolivian Republic of Venezuela.
Bolivarian
Republic of Venezuela.
Now, what time is it? I still got to get into my main topic. We almost done with this.
Oh, let's cook.
All right, I gotta read after we read this, I gotta read the Simon Bolivar piece so that you can understand. I might have sent a video about Simon Bolivar too. I don't know if I sent it in the archive or in the topic chat. All right, Simon Bolivar, Bolivian Republic of Venezuela. I'm gonna explain what he's about. In short, I'll give you the idea. The reason he calls it the Bolivarian Republic was Simon Bolivar wanted to unite all of Latin America.
Oh yeah.
His vision was that united, they could be a world power, not just in the Western Hemisphere against the United States, but against the whole world. Right. So his vision was to unite all of them, and a lot of people still hold firmly to that in Latin America. So Maduro and Chavez are telling you that they were basically anti-assimilation. They did not want to, not to say that they wouldn't be good neighbors and trade resources, but not the way the United States comes in and dictates it and tries to do it.
Yeah.
And their thing was for the unity amongst themselves, and that together, between all their resources and everything that they had, they could come together and be powerful. But just like the crabs in the barrel that we are, it never came to be. And a lot of that has to do, it goes back to WINSEC, right? Which is the School of the Americas.
Yeah.
And this is why they played such a large role in deposing leaders that had these ideals. Remember when it talks about in Psalms 2 that it cast the bands asunder?
Yep.
Right? And you read that in Zechariah, and it talks about those bands of brotherhood. they don't want us united. It goes back to Psalms 83 as well, because what it does then is together. Can you imagine? Let's say just Africa and Latin America
over with,
united their resources and kept control of them, and built ourselves up. Who would be running the world?
Yeah.
Remember, they tried to make a bank
Africa
over there.
alone could.
Yeah.
And I think Latin America alone could if they got together. Now imagine those two united.
That'd be the Dark Ages again.
Man,
it'll be the Dark Ages again. You said it
literally.
You said it perfectly. You said it perfectly. But go ahead, read the communique.
Communique. Venezuela stands united in rejecting Mr. Trump's grotesque threat and will denounce it. On the night of December 16, 2025, the President of the United States, Donald Trump, launched a reckless and grave threat against the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, violating international law, free trade, and free navigation. He claims on his social media that Venezuela oil, land, and mineral wealth are his property. Wow. Consequently, Venezuela must immediately hand over all its riches. The United States president seeks to impose an irrational naval blockade on Venezuela in order to steal the wealth that belongs to our homeland. In full exercise of the international law that protects us, our Constitution, and the laws of the Republic, Venezuela reaffirms its sovereignty over all its natural resources, as well as its rights to free navigation and trade in the Caribbean Sea and the world's oceans. Consequently, Venezuela will proceed in strict adherence to international law, the UN Charter to fully exercise its freedom, jurisdiction, and sovereignty despite these warmongering threats.
Is there anything else? Quick. Come on.
Our ambassador to the UN will immediately denounce this grave violation of international law against Venezuela. We call upon the people of the United States and the peoples of the world to reject the extravagant threat by any means necessary. Once again, it reveals Donald Trump's true intention to steal the wealth of the country that gave birth to the United Liberating Army of South America and our liberator, Simon Bolivar. The Venezuelan people, united in popular, military, and police forces, will defend their historic rights and prevail on the path to peace. Donald Trump verbatim puts forth the following interventionist and colonist statement. Until all the oil, land, and other assets that were stolen from us are returned to the United States, Venezuela and the people of the United States have denounced his true intention to appropriate the country's oil, land, and minerals through gigantic campaigns of lies and manipulation. Venezuela will never again be a colony of any empire or foreign power, and it will continue with its people along the path of building prosperity and defending its independence and sovereignty. The Venezuelan people remain firm in their care for their territory.
In their care of their territory.
Of their territory.
Come on.
Wealth and freedom.
Come on.
With our liberator, we say, fortunately, a handful of free men has been seen defeating powerful empires.
Right. So that's a quote from Simeon, right? Bolivar. And, you know, he calls him his liberator, but, you know, really we know that goes back to the restore. Our real liberator is Christ, right? He's the one that's going to restore us. But they're going in on Simon Bolivar. But we can read just a little bit about him quickly here, all right? Now, remember, you're going to look at him, you're going to be like, oh, okay, he looks pretty light-skinned or whatever. All I'm going to say is that if you've watched our topics on el blanqueamiento, all right, you'll understand, okay? Right. But go ahead. You don't have to say all the names if you don't want to.
Simon Bolivar. Bolivar redirects here for other use.
No, you don't have to do all that. I'm talking about where it says Simón José Antonio de la Santísima Trinidad Bolivar.
That part.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's great.
July 24th, 1783.
Go ahead.
Was a Venezuelan statesman and military officer who led what are currently the countries of Colombia, Venezuela, Ecuador, Peru, Panama, and Bolivia.
Right, which Panama was part of Colombia.
Yeah, at one point.
It became an offshoot, right? So, you know, Asher's roots go, just like I'm sure there's Ephraim mixed everywhere and whatever, you know. Yep. And Panama's recent influence, why they're so much darker, is because a lot of the Benji.
Oh, yeah,
and Levi
that's right. Benji
mixture,
migrated
right?
there. Yep, for work and all that.
But, you know, so while they're bunched in with Zebulon, once upon a time, it was part of Colombia. Just throwing that out there to let you know how the tribes get all mixed in with each other, okay, sometimes. But go ahead. Come on.
Military officer who led what are currently the countries of Colombia, Venezuela, Ecuador, Peru, Panama, and Bolivia.
Right. So basically, Asher. Go ahead. Come on.
To independence from the Spanish Empire. He is known colloquially as El Libertador.
Right. That's why he called him the Liberator, right?
Liberator.
Or the Liberator of America.
Libertador.
Libertador.
Simon.
I was trying to pronounce it for him. Libertador.
Libertador.
Okay.
Así es. Simón Bolívar was born.
We don't need to go into all that. I just wanted you to know what his thing. So hold on. Let me scroll down. Scrolling. I want to see if it talks about how he was trying to unite everybody. Hold on. No. You're going too fast. I was gonna spend more time on this later, but that's it. That's all I wanted on it. We just if you want to look it up on your own time. All right. Now go to what I told you to put. So let's assess these claims, because as I was looking in the chat on social media of some of this stuff, these Trump fanatics, I'll just say no. I didn't say I want that. I just tagged in the chat what I want. Thank you. Yes, he's wanting to hand this. Yes, this is what we want. I'm reading the comments, and they're saying, well, in the 1970s, there was American oil companies that came, and they invested, and they bought equipment, and this, that, and the other, right? Okay. And that they're talking about taking that back. No, it's not that simple, right? Let's read the actual facts. Go ahead, come on. Obviously, this compiled from GPT, but it's easier than pulling all the articles together, right? Go ahead.
Venezuela never took U.S. land. There has never been a war, territorial dispute, or border conflict where Venezuela seized U.S.
That's a fact. Yeah. That's a fact, right? But these freaking idiots are actually, like, and when I say these idiots, these freaking morons, these white devils, they just jump behind this guy, right? And look, I'm actually pro him because, you know, he's pushing forward things.
Right.
He's you know, when it says the days are short, and sometimes we, again, I don't like that we just harp on, look, the earth's spinning faster, or this, that, and the other. That's marginal. That's fractional. That's crazy. Right? The real marker is when you see prophecy moving forward. When that man of sin being revealed more profoundly, right? And I think his things are, yes, I saw the acento, honey. Thank you. She's telling me that because we're saying Boulevard and not Bolivar.
I can hit the
That's funny.
Oh, look, Castellano. Oh, let's make sure that we get our slave language perfectly pronounced.
Bolivar.
Right?
Bolivar.
She said, "Don't put me on blast." I didn't see that part. Sorry, I put you on blast.
That was a noise.
That's basically what it's like to live with me, right? Don't put me on blast. Sorry, I didn't see that you said that. I would have generalized it. I only saw when it flashed on my screen. Put me on blast.
Oops.
I saw the acento, right? Nobody cares except people who want to be all particular.
Right.
Particular. Go ahead, come on.
There has never been a war, territorial dispute, or border conflict where Venezuela seized U.S. territory. The two countries are geographically distant and have no overlapping land claims.
Come on.
Any land disputes Venezuela has had were regional. The Guyana over the
With Guyana
over the Essequibo
region.
Not with the U.S. Venezuela did not steal oil from the U.S. What did happen is often misunderstood. Oil nationalization, not theft. In 1976, Venezuela nationalized its oil industry, creating PDVSA. Before that, oil in Venezuela was extracted by foreign companies, many of them American. Exxon, Gulf, Shell, etc. Nationalization meant Venezuela took control of its own oil reserves. Companies were compensated under Venezuelan law. This was legal under international law and common at the time. Similar moves by Saudi Arabia, Mexico, Iran. So, no oil was stolen from the United States. Yes, Venezuela reclaimed sovereign control over oil located inside Venezuela.
Like I said, bro, he doing the Debo. Go ahead, come on.
Why people think Venezuela took U.S. oil. A few reasons this myth persists. U.S. companies lost control of lucrative oil fields, framed politically.
Remember, Mike, go ahead. They covet fields. Go ahead, come on.
Framed politically as
expropriation.
All of that. Later, U.S.-Venezuela political hostility, especially under Chavez and Maduro. Confusion between ownership of companies versus ownership of natural resources. Venezuela later defaulted on debts and contracts, but that is not the same as stealing oil. The U.S. actually bought Venezuela oil. For decades, Venezuela was one of the largest oil suppliers to the U.S. Citgo, a major U.S. refinery chain, is Venezuelan oil.
And Citgo is the one that I've spoken to you about before, that under Chavez, he would open up Citgos in black and Hispanic neighborhoods, right?
Cheaper gas.
For cheaper gas, so that we could have access to cheaper gas. Go ahead, come on.
Oil was sold on the open market, not seized. Bottom line, no land stolen, no oil stolen.
Come on. Is that it? That's everything on that?
That'll be it.
That's everything on that. I put something else for you now. Is that me making that?
No, that's Tobias.
Can you stop that?
It's the chick. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Go ahead. I just posted something in the group. Another text I sent. Come on. You guys got to pay attention to the chat. Asher does it all the time, and you guys put everything up that he needs, and Job too. And with me, what the hell?
Damn.
Oh, man.
I be watching. You guys post stuff during the show, and they put it up seamlessly. Is it because you do it with the common flow? It's like real mellow?
Yeah.
It gives them time. So stop for a second before you put it on the screen. So here's the thing, right? They try to say that the oil is not that, even though they want the oil, they try to say that the oil's not that good.
Stop it.
That is heavy, that is too heavy, it's too thick, right?
Wow.
And that we need the American companies. Now, this goes back to the end of poverty, right? I've been talking about that documentary for years. Nobody watches it because nobody cares.
That's a good movie.
That you saw it?
Yeah.
Okay. And basically, in summation, what they talk about is how they come into these countries, specifically Latin America, and they'll refine it for you, right? They'll process it for you, but they don't set you up to be able to do it for yourself.
Damn. Right.
So they basically, for example, if it's furniture, they'll teach you how to extract it and everything, and they'll teach you how to sell it off, but then you buy the furniture, you buy the results of it, which is like furniture or whatever else back, right? Because once you refine something, it's worth so much more, right? At 10 times the cost or whatever it is. But that's not true. I found this information that they actually love this type of oil, and this is why. Read this.
Refiners in the U.S., particularly those around the Gulf Coast, are also hungry for the heavier type of crude that Venezuela produces.
So they'll try to say that because it's heavy crude that it's crap, right? But I didn't notice until all this stuff started coming out. What it really is what? Go ahead.
Which tends to be less expensive and therefore more profitable to process.
So it's it's actually more profitable to process it.
Right.
It's actually more profitable to process it. So they try to say that it's not good. And that's the American companies have to go in there to help them out.
Yeah.
What it really is, they want to go in there because it's easier
They want that
to
thing.
turn it into profits, right? It's easier to turn it into profits. So let's get Revelation 18, all right? This is the hope and the salvation that I have in this, right? Because I read this and I see this, the audacity of this, and we're going to read to 10, bro. Right? And to let you know, remember I said the other nations profit with them. They're going to talk crap, but they're going to partake in it. Go ahead, come on.
The book of Revelation, chapter 18 and verse 1. After these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having a great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory.
Come on.
And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird.
Right, because this place, that's part of prophecy. It has to be destroyed, right? Not by man's hand, but by the Most High, by Christ. Go ahead, come on.
For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication.
All of them have drunk of it. Come on.
And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies.
So they're all going to partake, but they're going to talk like it's, oh my God, what a travesty. Go ahead, come on.
And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plague.
This is that watch and be sober. That watch and be sober. Go ahead, come on.
For her sins have reached unto heaven, and God hath remembered her iniquity.
God is watching all things, and he's seeing what's going on. Go ahead, come on.
Reward her.
Reward her, come on.
Even as she rewarded you.
Come on.
And double unto her. Double according to her words.
I take joy in knowing that double's going to come back. Go ahead, come on.
In the cup of which she hath filled, fill to her double.
Read.
How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously. So much torment and sorrow give her.
So in the same way that they lived deliciously and were glorified, to that level is going to be the torment and sorrows. Come on.
For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Damn. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day.
Come on.
Death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord God who judges.
You got to remember that thing, boy.
Yes,
in my anger, I read this, and I felt ease. A lot of times you think comfort of the scriptures, and you're thinking a psalm or a proverb that soothes you down. Sometimes you need something like this.
Right.
It's like you go and what movie I want to watch? Nah, I don't want to watch a comedy. I don't want to watch a romance. I want to see somebody F somebody up. That's what I need right now. Go ahead, come on.
Verse 9. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication.
So not just Babylon. Go ahead, come on.
And live deliciously with her.
Come on.
Shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning.
Come on.
Standing afar off for the fear of her
because
torment.
They know that they next. Babylon's first, they next. Go ahead, come on.
Saying, alas, alas, that great city, Babylon, that mighty city. For in 1 hour is thy judgment come.
That 1 hour is thy judgment come. And you know what the rest of Revelation say. I'm gonna stop it there because I gotta get into the other part of the topic here, right? As we run through this. Wait, you want to say something? Look at him.
I've been holding this one.
Look at him.
I've been holding this one. Job 20.
Oh, that's right. I told you to bring it out.
Yeah.
See, but I was supposed to end with this. Why are you gonna go back?
Yeah, I was gonna read it for you.
But why are you gonna go back?
I don't know.
But I'll let you. Go ahead.
I can release my wrath?
Go ahead, baby.
Okay. Job chapter 20.
And I don't mean baby like my baby. I mean like baby like.
I'll take it.
Like
Job 20.
Like pacifier baby.
Job 20 and 11.
Come on.
The book of Job, chapter 20 and verse 11. His bones are full of the sin of his youth, which shall lie down with him in the dust.
So now, I thought you were going to get it. All right. So it says his bones are full of the sin.
Release his thing, and then he looking at me.
You're like, come on, D.
Baby.
Get him, D.
All right, so it says his bones are full of the sin of his youth, which shall lie down with him in the dust. So this means that this man has been the same as he's been since the beginning. Cain, who was a vagabond, who was a murderer, right? He's called a vagabond because he never paid for the crimes that he committed. Now, watch how this man moves. Verse 12.
Verse 12, though wickedness be sweet in his mouth.
You see how Trump was talking. Wickedness is sweet in his mouth. He's getting all the love and the attention from all his supporters and all those that are round about. Go ahead.
Though he hide it under his tongue.
But remember, the Bible says that though his words be sweet, there's war in his heart. Go ahead.
Though he spare it.
Though he spare it.
And forsake it not.
He don't forsake it. Go ahead.
But keep it still within his mouth.
Now watch this. Let's jump down. Read verse 18.
Verse 18. That which he labored for.
That which he labored for. Hold on. That which he labored for, meaning in blood, meaning in deceit, in politics, right? That which he labored for, all the stuff that he's stolen through all those things I just mentioned. Go ahead.
For shall he restore.
For shall he restore. That's the true restitution. Go ahead.
And shall not swallow it down.
Meaning, though he has it now in his mouth, he's not going to swallow it down. He's not going to keep these things forever, like we read in Revelations 18. Go ahead.
According to his substance.
According to all the substance that he stole from us. Go ahead.
Shall the restitution
all
be.
of it will be returned unto us. Go ahead.
And he shall not rejoice therein.
Because why 19? Last one.
Because he hath oppressed and hath forsaken the poor.
The Venezuelan people, that people in Africa, the people in Ecuador, Colombia. Go ahead.
Because he hath violently taken away an house.
He had violently taken away an house. Micah chapter 2. Go ahead.
Which he builded not.
Which he buildeth not. So this man will pay for his crimes. But this shows you how this man is. Yeah, he has not changed from his youth.
That should have came out before we went into the good feeling.
I was trying, but you was cooking.
Because the good feeling, the patience that we have is Revelation 13:10.
Oh, see, that you want to bring out. Oh, you right there. See, baby.
That's what it have been.
Sure, go ahead. I'll just cut the.
Hey,
the
all
main
praises.
topic
Yeah.
short.
Revelation 13:10. Go.
Oh, dang.
He said, sure, he gave me the blessings. I'm going to be a Ruvain.
The book of Revelations.
right now. Revelation chapter 13 and verse 10.
Inside joke.
Read.
Y'all be quiet. Y'all be quiet in the back.
Inside joke.
Damn.
Read.
He that leadeth into captivity.
He that leadeth into captivity, all the stolen land, all the privileges, all the things that they did to our people, read.
Shall go into captivity.
They're going to go into captivity. We're going to be over them. Read.
He that killeth with the sword.
Everything that came with the bloodshed that comes from behind taking these lands and taking our property and stuff, what's going to happen?
Must be killed with the
It's
sword.
going to come back on them. But what is the whole purpose of this? Read on.
Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
This is our patience, man. So that Revelation 18.
Good. Thank you for bringing back some judgment.
Hey, man.
He went and derailed the whole thing.
We need that thing.
Do you feel better?
This is the restitution will be for us.
Yo, you know, I don't know if it's just my eyes now or whatever, but I think all of us is looking pretty rough tonight. Like I was looking on the screen, you know what I'm saying? And then I'm looking here, like I looked at myself, I'm looking at you now, and I'm like, damn, we all look a little beat
we're
up
looking
tonight.
rough. We need some sleep tonight,
I think
man.
right?
We need
Maybe.
some sleep.
Damn.
I think,
No,
well, you've been rough.
You've been having a rough
Yeah.
year, not a rough day.
That's the truth.
You ain't never lied.
Yo, you need more than scriptures, bro.
I know. Tobias is like, I think I look great. I'm riding bike. I'm eating broccoli
right.
every day. Like,
Riding
My
bike,
skin
eating
is
broccoli.
glowing.
I got my lotion on.
You know, he's like, I'm trying to activate my melanin by burning my
on,
skin.
Little by little.
Yo,
Trying to
that's
jumpstart
crazy.
this thing.
Oh, shit. He said his melanin.
Dang.
I'm like, what? You got like reddish hair. Like, what are you talking about?
No. Dang.
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 I'm not trying to insult you. I'm just saying, like, you know, that's what it is. We
It's out
respect
of
a
love.
bird.
Okay.
We respect a bird. No. I know. I
Yo.
got to rein him in because he likes to go in, right? He just crams it.
We didn't do Oreos.
It's by the bloodline,
Bro,
brother.
relax.
It's on the way.
That's part of the main topic. See, I knew you were having
Yep.
a rough year. I knew you were having a rough year. All right. So, spoke about Oreos. The Oreos is about to come into play in a minute. But before I get to the Oreos, right? We gotta reinforce the title here, right? I had to talk about the Venezuela thing. I didn't think it would take as long as it just did, but you know that could have been the topic all by itself. I guess.
Right,
And,
for real.
you know, if you really think about it, because we're about 2 hours in now.
Pressure
But I'm
makes
gonna
no
give it an extra hour. I'm gonna try to do this. I don't think it's gonna happen. I might have to split the first episode into 2 parts. But this is intended to be a 4-part series.
Yes.
All right. It's called Framed Worlds. Okay. So you might see a similar title next week or subsequent shows. That doesn't mean that it's a rerun. Look for the subtitle, all right, of it, right? But the main thing is Framed World. It's gonna be 4 volumes. It might be 5. I don't know. I gotta see because the second episode actually is shorter. So maybe what I don't cover today can carry over. I gotta see if I can get to a stopping point today. All right. And it's interesting because you're going to see how the Oreos ties into this. And it got me thinking. And then I just started going and going. And it was too much to just do in one episode or even one class, I think. Especially, you know, I like this stuff to have some dialogue, right?
Right.
So, you know, we're going to talk today a little bit about creation. And not so much decreation as we've gone over and over in Genesis. Although that does overlap with this. But just creation itself, right? Because the only one who's ever done any type of creation, right, is the Most High in Christ, right? Real creation, and I'm going to show you what that distinction is. Not, and what I mean is, real creation is not taking existing matter and turning it into something else.
Right.
Real creation is manipulating what we call molecules, atoms, and things like that, and doing
crazy,
something
man.
with it, right? So this is inspired by Oreos, and believe it or not, helping my daughter with her science midterm the other night.
So it's a combination.
Because it brought me back to some chemistry questions, right? So, you know, like they know that I was in school, I was pretty good at science. And so anytime it's like science homework, she likes to like try to come to me because, you know, I'm able to kind of like explain it to her in a certain way. Some of it was tough. I forgot about some of it, like the formulas and stuff. But,
Oh, yeah.
what really sparked it was the law of the conservation of matter, right? And we'll explain it in a minute, but what it really means, right? The law of the conservation of matter. And it made me start thinking about intelligent design. And, I had been meaning to run back refuting evolution, right? Because they try to say that, how we evolved from monkeys, and even though there's a missing link. All of this is going to be overlapped as I go into the series, right? Into different things. And you're going to see how the scripture talks about these things, but not necessarily with scientific terms, right? You've often heard me say that science doesn't make me believe in God less. Me, with the way the understanding of the scriptures, the measure that I do have has been opened up to me, it solidifies even more that there is a God. Right. And I think people who are reasonable, I don't think a lot of people can walk both those lines where you can respect science for what it really is, which is just interpretive. I'm not going to say it's really, it may seem like things are groundbreaking, right? A medicine comes out that does something, a cure, operational procedure. It is quite amazing, the stuff that they can do. But all of it still goes back to the origins of it, right? And that goes into the creation and all of that, right? So, why matter time and life don't create themselves? We're going to discuss those aspects of it, right? So you've heard the term reality, and people think like that, right? There's science fiction, right? But sometimes science fiction is based on something that might be realistic, right? But I'll give you an example of things that we don't fully understand, but those of us who are in the scriptures understand it a little better, right? Death, right?
Damn, that's a big one.
Right? Death's a big one. And the scripture, the waters have been rising with that understanding. And even in that, it's a glass darkly. And even in what we see, it's a glass darkly. Resurrection, right? That's another one that, we understand what we know based on what the scripture says, but can our minds really comprehend it? And why is it considered resurrection? Heaven and earth. So all your life, you thought heaven was this place in the sky.
Yeah.
Right? And hell was underground like Hades, okay? Yep. And even earth, though we're here and it's tangible to us, we don't really fully understand what it's like, right? But Paul goes in about that when he talks about the terrestrial and the celestial a little bit, right? And the end of an age versus the end of the world, right?
So
we
like
say
power
the
to
end
power?
of the world, but what you're really talking about is the end of an age.
Yes. Right.
The end of a cycle, the end of a dispensation of time, right? Kind of like when the Middle Ages ended, right? When the Roman ages ended, so on and so forth, right? They talk about the Iron Age, the Bronze Age, right? When things changed so much, right? It wasn't a destruction of the world. It was just such a large step forward that it was something that had to be considered the end of an age or a cycle, right? Kind of like, when disco was in and then it went out to make it smaller, right? That was the end of an age, right? When disco wasn't popular anymore, okay? The 80s, even though they still permanence, right? People still love the 80s or they feel fond about the 80s. My daughter wasn't even anything to do with the 80s, but the 80s has an allure to her, right? And she likes the 80s movies and the 80s music and stuff like that. So really, what it really teaches us, and we'll show a little bit, that little screenshot of the mathematician, the Asian-looking guy, and what he said. Not yet, right? And we might bring out the intelligent. I was trying to find the intelligent design article. It was in one of the chats that we did from when we did the show on a Saturday years back. But you have to realize that they have this thing called the Big Bang Theory, right? And the Big Bang Theory states that basically from nothing came something, right? And there's so much that you can debate again. They've never been able to replicate creating life from nothing, right? They've never been able to do anything like that. Even when we get into a little chemistry, it's going to get a little sciencey, but trust me, I'm going to ground it in scripture, right? I've often said they can give you the chemical elements of certain elements, right? Like water, they know, right? It's H2O, right? Hydrogen, 2 oxygen, right? Or 2 hydrogen, 1 oxygen, whatever it is. And but they can't make water.
Right.
Right. And then you wonder these things, and you go, well, how does that, what does that have to do with spirituality? What does that have to do with the scriptures and stuff like that, right? We're going to talk about stuff like that. But you got to understand that reality is ordered, right? It's conserved, and it's sustained. It's not random, right? It's not self-created, and it's not disposable, right? That's the law of the conservation of matter, okay?
Oh, shoot.
So now we're going to bring the Oreos into this.
A lot of aspects.
Okay? I'll give you an example. and this is gonna get trivial, but then I'm gonna run it back to show you that we really don't understand things in our ignorance.
Through Oreos.
Through Oreos. A common modern claim says that certain foods, right, are fake because they don't ignite when exposed to extreme heat. You'll see them do like the Kraft singles.
Yep.
And they say, look, it doesn't burn.
The McDonald's hamburger.
They'll say, look, it doesn't burn, right? And that's just you not understanding the different phases of matter and how those things work and apply and stuff like that, right? So we're going to show this this video that, Tobias, you put this up, right?
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yeah.
Implying that Oreo, you just wanted proof of validity, right?
I just thought it was cool.
Right? He said, look at this, the Oreo don't burn.
Burning.
This guy.
Watch the video.
0.1 second. 0.5 second. 1 second. 3 second. 5 second. 30 second.
Well, all righty then.
So what's the point? Everybody say, oh, that's crap. It's fake, right? It don't burn like you expect it to burn. It got to be fake. It got to be fake food, right? It's false, right? And it reveals a misunderstanding of how you want to say the universe, you want to say how reality behaves, different things like that, right? You have to realize something. Not all things combust, meaning can light on fire, right? Not all heat produces flames, okay? And heat primarily causes changes of form, not annihilation of substance. Right?
That's heavy.
Meaning what?
Elements shall melt.
It'll change the form of something, right?
Still the same thing.
But it's still made up of the same matter, right? And the same
changes
particles,
form.
right?
Gotcha.
Go ahead. You can read that part, right? Go ahead.
Yes. And this is a great example of a viral clip creating a false conclusion from a misunderstood physical effect. I'll explain it in plain, non-technical terms, then tie it back to why it does not mean the food is fake. What people expect to happen, think cookies are food. Food should burn. If it doesn't burn, it must be plastic or fake. That intuition is understandable, but it's wrong physics and wrong chemistry. What's actually happening, in simple terms, fire needs oxygen inside the material for something to burn. It must be flammable, or flammable, must release flammable vapors, must have oxygen available Oreos. Like most baked goods, do not release flammable gases when heated. They mostly dry out and char, not ignite. So, no flame equals plastic, no ignition equals artificial paper burns because it releases gases.
No flame does not equal plastic. No ignition does not equal artificial paper. Yes.
Okay. Gotcha.
Right.
Cookies don't. Oreos are already burned. Once Oreos are baked at high temperatures, made mostly of carbohydrates that have already been heat processed, that means a lot of easy to burn material is already gone. What's left is dense carbon-rich material. Carbon chars before it flames. That blackening people see, that's carbonization, not plastic. Moisture plus density prevents ignition Oreos contain. Residual moisture, dense sugar, starch structure when you blast them with a torch. Water absorbs, heat sugars, decompose instead of igniting the surface, insulates the inside. Result, they sit there, get hot, darken, crack, but don't catch fire. This happens with bread, crackers, pancakes, cereal, rice, cakes, Try torching a tortilla. Same result. Sugar does not behave like gasoline. Sugar melts, caramelizes, dehydrates, turns into...
So like brulee, creme brulee, right? You put a sugar thing on top, and then they blow torch it to get that hard, glassy type of, right? So, you know, sometimes you'll see like the viral creme brulee donuts, and they crack them and stuff like that. It's because they've basically charred the sugar on there, and that's the effect that you get. So in cooking, you understand that, but somehow you see that, and then everybody's going nuts and saying, oh, it must be fake food, right? It's not, right? It's not. Basically, it's saying pure sugar is hard to ignite. It burns slowly and all of that, right? But the point is that this opened up me just kind of saying, damn, you know, people don't understand a lot of aspects of things. And then cue in my daughter's midterm. And the law of conservation of mass says that matter cannot be created or destroyed. It can only change form. Damn. And it made me think about, for example, when we die, right, we were made from the dust of the ground, and to the dust we return, right? And when we decompose, right, we go back to that, right? So it's not that the body disappears, right? It made me think of when we burn fat, right? Fat doesn't disappear. You wonder where all that fat goes, right? Oh, I lost 40 pounds. Where did 40 pounds go?
You breathe it out.
You breathe it out as carbon.
That's crazy.
It converts into carbon, and you breathe it out into the air.
Damn, so it doesn't go away. It just...
But here's the thing. You're
crazy.
saying, oh, science. Why am I in science class? God created that.
Right.
And what they're telling you is that anything that God created can't be destroyed.
Where's the bomb?
Do you understand that? No, there is no bomb. They don't know what the hell he put right.
My gosh. That's crazy work.
On the wrong target. They bombed the wrong target.
Anything God created cannot ever really be destroyed, right? And they try to tell you that all this complexity came from a big bang, right? I'm still just laying foundation here, right? I'm still just laying foundation here. And when you think about it, what really happens with us, but it's a transition, right? It says that we move to the what?
Can I read it for you?
What?
What you talking about?
No, because I'm going to go through these things later.
Okay.
I'm going to go through these later. I'm going to go through this stuff later. I got these verses later, maybe in another episode. Might not even be today. I'm just quoting it to put people back.
Doing the foundation.
Yeah, I'm putting about the thing back, right? So you have to realize, for example, I'll give you some stuff with like organic stuff, right? Water, when you heat it, what happens?
Boils.
But what happens
The
ultimately?
gas, it
evaporates,
Yeah.
right? It didn't disappear. It didn't go anywhere, right? It didn't burn. It evaporates, right? It turns into a gas, right? And you know, there's gas, there's vapor, there's solids, right? All that stuff. Sugars caramelize, right? They don't light on fire. They caramelize.
Isn't that how you make caramel? or
So if I took pure sugar and I did the blowtorch thing to it and it doesn't burn, is it fake? Right? There's something that you're not understanding, right? So anything that's carbon, like carbon structures, they char, right? Compounds rearrange, but matter doesn't cease to exist. Even ash still has mass, right? Smoke is still material. Smoke is still material, right? Vapor still occupies space. Made me think of in James where it says your life is like
a vapor.
Like a vapor, right? Vapor still takes up space. So you have to realize something. Destruction and annihilation are not necessarily the same thing. It's transformation, right? And if you're with me and you're thinking about what the scripture says, what happens to us, right? You see where I'm kind of going with this. And what science has tried to call all these different chemical names and compositions and stuff like that, our forefathers and the disciples and many of the teachers in the scriptures, they understood that.
Yeah,
right?
he was already hip.
They were already hip to those type of things. And I'm going to all bring it back, and I'm going to tie it back to, goes back to the death and the changing, and even how the scripture talks about the earth is a shadow of the heavenly, right? Of the things in heaven. For something to have a shadow, that means there's a physical form, right? Because is the shadow the real thing? Or is it the reflection of the real thing? Or the way the light is, right?
That's what it is.
So maybe to help us kind of understand from a different perspective, when it says the kingdom is waiting for us, and it mirrors that, but it's not the full, right? So in order for it to be a shadow of something, okay, that means the light is basically
a reflection of the
signing. I don't want to say reflection, but it's on it and it's casting the shadow of what it really is, right? So a shadow, I can't see the face features, right? I can only see the outline of it, right?
Yeah. Right.
So there's different things that's going on, right? So like I said, when it talks about dust to dust, when we speak about bodily resurrection, when we speak about regeneration, right? And why it doesn't ever, when they say the world's going to end, the world's not going to end. It's going to change.
Right.
Not without destruction, right? Because destruction does happen, but destruction and annihilation, annihilation means gone. The only thing that's going to be annihilated is when death and hell and all that gets cast into that lake of fire, which is the second death, right?
Which Esau's a part of.
Which Esau is a part of.
Just throwing that in there.
Right? Which the 2/3 of Israel is a part of. Right?
Sure.
That don't repent, that don't keep the law, statutes, and commandments.
Damn, annihilated.
Annihilated. Annihilated, right?
He said hit the Thanos.
So, thinking about that law of conservation, let's get Wisdom of Solomon 1. Wisdom of Solomon 1.
You going straight to the wisdom.
And let's start at 7.
The book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1 and verse 7. Read it out! For the Spirit of the Lord filleth the world, and that which containeth all things hath knowledge of the voice.
Now, there's different ways that I've spoke about this and I've brought it out, but what I want you to think about is that long before they came up with things like physics or chemistry, right? Scripture talks about a containment and a sustainment, right? That's really what it's talking about. It says it containeth all things, right? I want you to think of this from the scientific perspective, because the spirit, what they call science, right? As long as it's not opposition to it, is really them tapping into something that's from the creation, right? You know how I say like medicines a lot of times, while they're synthesized, the origins of the medicines come from something else.
Right.
They don't just fabricate it out of thin air, right? The best example is antibiotics, right? Antibiotics, they find them in the dirt and soil and things like that, right? And then they realize that there's applications for it. It used to be back in the day that they would have to culture them and grow them in a lab.
Petri dish and stuff,
right, in Petri dishes. Excuse me. Now they have ways that they can synthesize it, right, and grow it certain way, different medicines and things like that. I'll give you an example. They have the cholesterol medications. They're called statins. They discovered statins from red rice yeast extract. So statins are basically a yeast. They take the active ingredient in that, and then they synthesize that to make Lipitor and things like that help lower cholesterol.
So regardless if it's synthesized, medicine still comes from the earth, as it says.
Medicine still comes from the earth. Medicine still comes from the earth. Yes.
They just tapped in.
Just like the scripture says, right?
That's crazy.
So what's it telling you, though, when you read Wisdom of Solomon 1 and 7? It says that creation is filled, right? Creation is filled. It's not empty. Remember how they say that it's empty and two particles came together, right? And from this big explosion, all this life came, right? That's not the case.
But that's just like how oxygen fills everything.
Yes, right. All of it is something. All of it is something, right? All things are contained. They're not self-originating, right? There's a difference. There's a distinction in that, right? And matter responds to commands, not randomness, right? That's why read it again. Read it again.
The book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1 and verse 7. For the Spirit of the Lord filleth the world, and that which containeth all things hath knowledge of the voice.
It has knowledge of the voice because everything was spoken to do something, right? What were you going to say?
What was that last thing you just said about the matter? It is what?
Wait, which part? I said matter responds to commands.
That's crazy.
Right? It's not random.
That's crazy.
That's the point, because I'm trying to get at these Big Bang evolutionists, right?
Because they say it's random, but then you're reading the scriptures how all the spirits obey his voice.
Yes.
All that matter is not random.
That's like the war.
So
the
read
flood.
7 again.
For the Spirit of the Lord filleth the world, and that which containeth all things hath knowledge of the voice.
Have knowledge of the voice. Why? Because of the commands that they respond to, right? The commands that they respond to.
So that's why the oceans stay in place as opposed to covering the land.
Yes.
And water.
Right. It says that there's a verse that talks about that. Like how is it contained, right?
Yeah. Right.
Command, right? It's command, how it's set up. So you have to realize that aligns exactly with that conservation, because reality doesn't persist. It's independent. Because it's independent, it persists because it's upheld.
It's commanded.
It's held together
by a commandment.
By commandment.
Right.
And by commandment, and then there's action with that commandment, right? Notice, go back to where we were in Revelation 18, and then read 2. Remember what it said about the angel? It said the angel, 18:1 said the angel would come down from heaven. And then what did it say that he would do?
The book of Revelation, chapter 18 and verse 2.
Uh-huh.
And he cried mightily with a strong voice.
Command, a voice. Go ahead, come on.
Saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird.
Now, between that verse and verse 8, you read all this other stuff, so you lose some contextuality from it. But if you go from 2, where it says he cried mightily and said this was the command that was given, what it really did was that command set off a chain of events and activated actions that lead to verse 8. Read the verse 8.
Number 4 is another command too.
And I heard another voice from Haying. Yeah, well, to us to come out. But come on, don't throw me off. 8.
Verse 8. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day. Death and mourning and famine. And she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord God who judgeth.
Now you go back to Wisdom of Solomon 1 and you read 7 again. Come on.
Book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1 and verse 7. For the Spirit of the Lord filleth the world.
Strong is the Lord that judgeth her. Go ahead, come on.
And that which containeth all things hath knowledge of the voice.
So you think that creation and existence was spoken, right? And commanded to commands. And you think the end is not going to be the same, where a command is not going to be given that sets off the actions that make those things happen?
That's second Ezra when it said Christ spoke out of his mouth and all of those things was getting fire and tempest and all of that.
Yes, all that stuff happened just like it was in the beginning. That's what look at. Look at Marv's face.
He said, depart from me, I never knew you.
Yo, oh my God.
Bruh, I'm just, I got
right, so we think that, and you're thinking what, right? If it's depart from me, I never knew you, that means you're going to be part of that second death.
Yeah,
right?
Through a command that he
remember when he said, I am he?
Yeah.
And the dude flew back?
Yeah. Right.
All right?
Right.
And you're thinking, that's some sorcery, wizardry thing. And remember it says Solomon understood all the elements and things like that?
The elements.
Everything in the earth is the substance of heaven and the Most High and Christ.
That's why in Corinthians it says he filleth all things.
Yes.
Just like we read here,
well,
but in a different
yes.
sense.
Yes.
So that's why when he spoke, he flew back because the air or whatever pushed him obeyed him in that manner.
And you know how like some cultures, they have it twisted, like Gad will talk about like the God fills all this and all the spirits and all that stuff like that. It's a distortion of that understanding, right? So I know you have this visual up and it's very profound because it's basically the essence of God. Is it all that stuff?
Yeah. You made reference to that too when we was in Mexico City, how they idolized death. Meaning they understood a certain concept of death, just not fully with the scriptures. Remember you were making mention of that?
Yes.
So, our people understand a small tad.
I think I had mentioned that. I mentioned that to Bishop when we were in L.A. with Deacon Abiel. And I was telling him how, like, their obsession with death. Basically, what I was saying was the obsession with death that you see with Issachar and stuff like that. Now that, like, we've been understanding death even more, I think it's a perversion of what they once understood as a transition.
Yes.
So the reason they worship death is because obviously it's a rudiment of something, is because they realize that just like we shouldn't fear it, it's something to aspire to because it's not really the end. It's a transformation to our true self.
Right.
Now, what that really ultimately tells you is what? What science really does is observe how the matter behaves. The scriptures tells you why it exists at all. They cannot explain why anything exists, why there's substance, why there was any type of creation or anything like that, which is why they come up with something so rudimentary as a Big Bang theory. Right? And that's the prevailing theory. There's really not much else out there. You do have some other people that are trying to say that it implies ordered structure, right? And that's how those things came about. Let's get Genesis 1, all right? Don't read it yet, right? Let me just check it. I'm going to make another point.
Right now, man.
I'm going to make another point.
One scripture. It's already.
That's why I say I'm going to have to cut it because I can't rush it, and I'm going to have to go little by little. It might be 5 episodes, but episode 1 might be 2 parts, right?
Don't rush it.
Episode 1 might be 2 parts, right? So that we can come around this. Hang on. All right. Let me see what I want to get out of here. All right. Read 1 and 2. Come on.
The book of Genesis, chapter 1 and verse 1. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. And the earth was without form and void. And darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the water.
Now, these are small distinctions in creation, right? But if you think about it, right, what does it say? Does it say there was nothing in the beginning?
I don't say that.
Right? And this is where people get hung up. Who created God?
Right.
Right.
You can't create something from nothing, right? And this is glass darkly. This is stuff above where we're at.
Right.
I've often said, remember, they call God the Ancient of Days. When we get into the timepiece, if it's not today, maybe next time we go into the episode, because he sits outside of time. Right. Time is a construct for us.
For us.
Right.
Not for him.
Not for him.
That's
Not
why I
for
said
him.
the ancient of times.
Damn.
Right? That's why he's the Ancient of Days.
Before
right?
time.
But what you're really seeing here is that Genesis doesn't begin with nothingness turning into something like they try to say. It begins with unformed reality, right? And he says he gave it shape and form. And what it really is when he gave it shape and form is what? He gave it order.
A command, yep.
He gave it a command, so it received order. All things are ordered, right? They talk about the law of thermodynamics, right? We talk about that for calorie burn. But that's something that really, if you think about it, was established from the beginning. They talk about the conservation of mass. These are things, we have no power to destroy nothing. We think we're taking life. We think we're doing that. We serve the God of the living. Remember that, not the God of the dead. So nothing dies until he says it's going to die.
Yep.
And when something's really, when something's going to be annihilated, when is that? We know that that's the second death.
Right.
That's that, because remember, there's the first resurrection. There's all these different aspects that we've gone over, and I'm not going to get too heavy into that. If you don't have a foundation in those classes that have come out between Bishop Nathaniel and Deacon Malachi, it's going to be a little hard for you to grasp some of the stuff that we're going to go on. You might want to go back and watch some of those topics where they discuss those aspects of it, because in order for me to go back, like you got to have a prerequisite in school. Because if not, I'm going to spend the whole semester going to over other thing. So you might get a little behind. I pray you were paying attention in those classes and things that were coming out, because I'm giving a different approach to it, where I want you to see how it is grounded in what's called the observation of the universe, which is science, right? Which is what science is, right? So creation proceeded by movement, command, separation, function, right? When you read through Genesis, what does he talk about? And he separated this from this. And he took
Boundaries
that.
and this
Bro,
and that.
so
Yeah.
I'm thinking like, if you look at it physically, there's,
Right.
but we know it was by voice.
Right.
But when, since we're carnal, I'm thinking like, water and fires together, and he's pulling them elements apart, and all this
put
stuff
them in
is
their
coming
place,
out and
yeah.
putting it where it needs to go, right? Now, obviously, we know it was spoken and it was done.
Right.
That goes back to Wisdom of Solomon 1:7, right? It was
Right.
spoken and it was done, or Ezra's like you were talking about. But all these little things, and they try to, creation's a fairy tale and stuff like that. It's not.
It's all woven into the
It's
Bible.
all woven into it, right? And it brings that out. It's not it's not like an illusion and a magic and a sleight of hand, right?
Right.
It's something that's laid out, right? So it doesn't deny material continuity. It assumes it, because it tells you what? Read it again from the beginning.
Genesis chapter 1 and verse 1. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. And the earth was without form and void.
Come on.
And darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the water.
Right. Think about that. What do you think that is? That's just a face moving upon the face of the water. Remember what I said earlier? It's filled with the Spirit of the Lord, right?
Damn, the whole universe.
Yes.
And
that's why there's a character in Marvel. It's
Yeah,
called
I know you're
Eternity.
talking about.
That was going through
And
the
he looks
different-
like he's called Eternity. And it
Yes.
looks like there's a picture of him, and he basically looks like the universe. He has no shape or form. He looks like, they get all that stuff from the Bible, right? If you look up Eternity Marvel, there's like a picture of him, and it'll show that, right? And it'll show that. So you have to realize something, and this is why I say I don't foo-foo science, right? So this one, they try to put a little bit of a face to him, but you see how that his name's Eternity, and basically that's the whole universe, and all the planets are in him, right? Like it's in like that. That's them. They know the scriptures, and they try to interpret it a certain way. And remember, a lot of these guys were Amalek that started the comic.
That's right.
Remember, Amalek really took hold of all the entertainment, the movies.
Yeah.
They're going to say that's anti-Semitic and censor the show now. But as far as Hollywood and all this other media and things like that, their hands are in it deep, generationally, right? From a long time ago. So a lot of that stuff that they put into it, like that's where kind of it comes
Yeah.
from them and elements of what they've read in the Torah and things like that that they put together, and then they make it fiction, sci-fi, fantasy.
Right. And in addition, with the hand or the power that they have with Satan.
Yes,
So
of
which
course.
is feeding
Yeah.
them
It's
information.
given to them, right? Like we said, it's given to them, right? So, you know, I often say, like, remember, let's get that in Timothy's, the oppositions of science, right? Falsely so-called, right? That's another good picture. You can put those different visuals, and even that just doesn't grasp and put into perspective
Don't
what
do
we're
it
really
justice.
talking about. It don't. It don't.
6 and 20, 1 Timothy.
The book of 1 Timothy, chapter 6 and verse 20. O Timothy, keep that which is committed to thy trust, avoiding profane and vain babblings, and oppositions of science.
Notice it says oppositions of science, meaning if it opposes what we understand foundationally in the scriptures, then what is it?
Falsely so-called.
It's not, right? Because it's an opposition. But science is powerful, but it has limits. It has limits, right? Science can analyze the structure. This is going back to the H2O thing that I said, right? It can manipulate environments, right? They can do like we have air conditioning here. That's the manipulation of an environment, right? We were able to cool they pull out the hot air and you keep cool air in, right? There's different things that it can do, right? They can rearrange existing materials, right? So they can melt something down, but it's still the same thing. It's the same atoms and molecules. They just reposition it, right? Even when you cook something, right? A potato starts one way, but if I want to make it mashed potatoes, right? I boil it, I do something. It's still potato. It's just in a different form, right? And I use that just to simplify it because I know some of this stuff gets kind of like, so I said, how do I do this in a way that I keep it, you know, so that we can all understand, right? But science cannot create something from nothing.
Right.
You cannot fabricate anything out of thin air, right? They can't generate life from non-life. You say, oh, they're doing cloning, oh, they're doing all this other stuff, but they have to have something to base it off of, right? With all this knowledge and all this, don't be fooled. They're not God. They think they God because of the things that they can do, but they don't realize that there's limits to all of that, right? It's not the true, right? And you could rearrange existing materials, right? Like you take wood and you build furniture, or you take wood and you make paper, or whatever it is, right? All those different aspects. What it can't do, right, is also produce information without intelligence, right? Meaning you have to have an understanding. It goes into the 5 operations, right? There's really 7 for those of us in the spirit, right?
Yeah.
So this is the example that I gave. Water's H2O, right? They know that. They can observe it and they can see that. They can purify water. They can distill it. Do you know what distilling is? Like they'll take salt water and they'll desalinate it, or they'll take all the minerals and things out of it, right? They can filter it, okay? But they can't create the hydrogen or the oxygen to make water. That's why there's droughts.
Damn. Right.
When all their knowledge and all their understanding,
they can't recreate water.
right?
Damn.
I know that it's these elements, but I can't create those elements. That's not power.
That's not power at all.
That's just observing.
And understanding.
You're seeing into something, right? But Christ spoke those things, and he manipulated them, right? It says he formed waters.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you think about it, as we read that, right, and it says, and it talks about the waters from the waters, right? The elements were there, and they just had to be manipulated to be separated into something, right?
Right, because he separated the waters from the waters.
But I'm trying to get you to understand something. What are those elements then?
They're of God. They're from God. They are God.
From his mouth.
Because he filleth all things.
He filleth all things.
Damn, that much more powerful when it says that we are a part of his body.
Right.
For him to say that about us specifically,
Yes.
Right.
now it's more nuanced.
Yes.
I mean, there's more substance.
Yes. Not only did we come from Adam by his seed, right?
By
sperm,
Yeah.
right? But Adam was formed from the dust of the ground. The dust of the ground came from what? The essence of the Lord, right?
Yes.
That means all of us. That's why, if you think about why do we have all those minerals and things in us? That's the same minerals you find in the earth,
in the earth, right.
Copper, manganese, magnesium,
Carbon.
all the carbon, all those different things, right? And guess what? What do they say? The body's what? 90, 70 something percent water, whatever they say, right?
Yeah.
Why do we have all of that? We're made from all that same stuff, right? The elements of the human body. That's a good one. Put that up, right?
She's crazy.
It tells you all the different stuff that's in there.
And then we had a spirit on top of that.
That's another element.
Notice what the scripture says. Ye are the salt of the earth.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're made of salt also. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you get it. We're of the, it's
Literally.
beyond just the salt.
That simple statement
As
alone,
far as
though.
That's what
flavor.
I'm saying.
Because I was thinking about it spiritually, but the simple statement of just salt. We are the salt.
It is spiritual, but it's also physical.
Physical, right.
It's
We are
also
the salt.
physical. We are the salt, right? Like, how come we never stop and think about that?
Hey, man, we think about it.
It says, from the dust you came, from the dust you return. How come we never stop and think about that?
Right.
You're like, yeah. The Catholics do stupid Ash Sunday, right? Put that picture up of the elements of the human body. Go ahead, come on. That's what I'm saying. How can you not believe in the God of the Bible?
Right.
And let me tell you, I say the God of the Bible because there's other deities, but they don't talk about stuff like this. Yeah, they don't know the end from the beginning, right? They don't break down the beginning this way. They don't give you a real reason why things happen. And for the people that those deities are for, they don't tell them why they're in the conditions that they're in and why it got to change.
You can't find that in their books.
No, it's all made up bullshit, right? So go ahead, 11 elements of the human body, just to show you the different things that we're made out of, right?
11 elements of the human body.
Uh-huh.
Number 1, oxygen.
Oxygen. You don't got to read all that. Just read down them.
Number
You
two,
can pull it out.
carbon.
You can do it wide so that everybody can see the whole thing. Go ahead.
Carbon, 18.5%.
Uh-huh.
Number 3,
Hydrogen,
hydrogen,
come on.
9.5%.
Uh-huh.
Number 4, nitrogen,
Uh-huh.
3.2%. Number 5, calcium. Number 6, phosphorus.
Uh-huh.
Number 7, potassium.
Uh-huh.
You have sodium.
Salt. We are the salt of the earth.
Sodium,
Go ahead. Come
there it
on.
is.
Chlorine.
Uh-huh.
Magnesium. Sulfur.
Right. So those are 11 elements found in the human body, right? That's all found in the earth, right? That's all found from the dust of the ground. They try to make all this stuff like it's a fairy tale, right? But going back to the hydrogen and oxygen example, right? Droughts exist, scarcity exists, right? They put stewardship over water conservation and all this stuff. Why? Because all they do is manage creation. They can't manufacture it, right? Remember, the earth's given into the hands of them, and that's why, get that in Romans 8:19.
Oh, the creature.
I want to show you something in that.
The book of Romans, chapter 8 and verse 19. For the earnest expectation of the creature waited for the manifestation of the sons of God.
It waits for the manifestation of the sons of God. Why? Because right now it's in the hands of the wicked, right? So, yes, they're able to do things, but by their science, it's never going to yield to them the way it will yield to us, right? That's get that really quick. Genesis 4 about it'll not yield forth for strength.
The book of Genesis, chapter 4 and verse 12. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not.
He's saying this to Cain, which is the spirit of Esau. Go ahead, come on.
It shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength.
Right, it won't yield her strength. A lot of times we focus just on agriculture with that, but what that means is that the earth is not going to be able to do what it really do in its real form under the wicked being in rule, right? Because what's it say? What's the one about when the righteous?
Yeah, when the righteous rule,
Isaiah.
everybody's happy or something.
Uh-huh.
the
Get that
trees
real
and
quick.
the
Get that real quick. Don't
feathers.
lose any of these. Don't lose any of these. Come on.
I forgot where that was.
Isaiah 40.
I think it's Proverbs, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Proverbs.
You got it? You found it? Do I got to look it up?
Close.
Yeah, I got to look it up. I don't remember this one.
I know the page.
When the righteous rule, the people rejoice. Proverbs 29:2.
Yep. The book of Proverbs, chapter 29 and verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice.
Uh-huh.
But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn.
Right, and that also goes with is it in Isaiah where it talks about
The fellers, the trees.
the fellas of the trees say
Yeah.
no fella came against us and all of that stuff like that, right? But go back to Romans 8. Go back to Romans 8. So remember, the earth will not yield a straight under the wicked, right? That goes and ties in with Proverbs 29:2. That ties in with what we're reading here. Go ahead.
The book of Romans, chapter 8 and verse 19. For the earnest expectation of the creature waited for the manifestation of the sons of God.
Right, come on, read. Why?
For the creature was made subject to vanity.
Right, to vanity. What's vanity? Something that's useless, that's temporary. It's not, it doesn't permanence, right? What's the vanity? The most vain fellow out there is who? Esau, Edom, right? So we're subject unto them. And because the creation is subject unto them right now in that power, it doesn't give forth her strength. The earth does not yield forth her strength. It's not, when we are in authority, we're going to be able to do things. It's kind of like in the Matrix where he says, what are you saying? I could dodge bullets. He says, when you're ready, you won't have to.
Right.
Damn.
That's altering the law, what they call the laws of physics.
Right.
The only reason laws of physics exist is because the wicked are in rule.
Right.
When we're in rule, I cannot imagine, right? Nor or have seen, what the Lord have in store for us.
Yeah.
Right? Go ahead, come on.
For the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by reason of him who have subjected the same in hope.
Right, because why? Because that's under God's authority that's happening, because he subjected us in hope as well, right? The hope of the restoration of the sons of God, so that then all creation can be rejoicing. Go ahead, come on.
Because the creature itself also shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption into the glorious liberty of the children of God.
And let me tell you, the glorious liberty is beyond what you just think on the surface. I'm talking about things that you think are impossible, we're going to be able to accomplish and do. Right? You seen Avatar, the Avatar, The Last Airbender?
Yeah,
I'm talking about that one, right?
Yeah, I love that show.
And you got the ones that manipulate the water and the ones that manipulate that's elemental stuff.
Yeah.
And it's shown as sci-fi now. But what do you think when the right rulers, because remember, you read in 2 Ezra 6 that the earth was created for our sakes. So that means it's not doing what it needs to do right now. So you can imagine we're going to be able to, and that's base. But that's the only visuals that we have that I can say. We're going to be able to do stuff like that, right? You know, you talk about teleporting and flying, right? What's teleporting in Star Trek? Repositioning molecules.
Yep.
They deconstruct the molecules, they build you up, and then the machine puts it back together.
Somewhere else.
We just going to be able to do stuff like that, right? I talk about Dr. Manhattan and the stuff that they did, right? They can observe and see. Why do you think they show them as science fiction? Because they can't do it.
Right.
But when we are in rulership and the kingdom of heaven is on earth, that will be done in earth as it is in heaven, things like that and greater are going to be at our disposal for us to be able to do.
Right.
And somebody will see this and say, you're crazy. Well, that's because you're limited and you have no faith.
Facts.
Yeah.
Because when you read between the precepts, you see that you compare that. Science does not replace God.
Right.
It's them trying to observe God and understand the things that God put forth.
He said you got faith the size of a mustard seed. You can move a mountain. You can
Right.
literally move
Literally,
Yes.
yeah.
He says, you will say.
Unto, bro,
He
my God.
said, say.
Right. Onto that sycamore
That's
tree.
heavy.
He said, you will say it.
Give them the command.
And it's going to do what it needs to do.
That's
It's always been in front of our face, but because our faith is weak and our spirituality is not elevated,
Right. We're not even at that
you
level
don't
no
see
more.
it.
Yeah.
You don't see it. But science confirms that it compiles to commands. Right.
Nigga, didn't Habakkuk teleport into the lion's den with Daniel?
Nah,
The angel took him.
He took him by the afro and said,
But
"Get
but
your-"
But even that itself.
We don't understand how that looked.
right.
It says it grabbed him in his vehemency.
And placed him in a whole nother land that he'd never been before.
Now, at its base form, if you want to think it was like the Flash when he grabs somebody and runs them, you could.
In its base form, right.
In its base form, I'm going to go with teleport.
But it happened.
Right.
It happened, goddamn.
And that's the best way. I'm going to go that he was here and then he was there.
like that.
Yeah. Because even when it comes to chariots,
when you read in Ezekiel,
Yeah.
it defies
I was going to say that.
physics.
That's what I was
It's
literally what I was
the
going
way
to say.
It moved.
It defies physics.
They say that now, like, we don't understand how this thing is doing these turns
Yes.
like that.
Remember the video that
Isaac.
Deacon Adam?
that
Yeah. Chariots are real number part
No,
one.
I think Bishop has shown it in one of his classes, but it was it might have been Deacon Nathan that had found it, but the one where the missile shot at the UFO and it bounced off.
just bounced.
Yeah. Oh, we saw that again when Deacon came to
Yeah,
visit.
show it. Yeah, you're like, what the hell is that? Go ahead. Did they show it yet?
They're showing it right now.
Man,
That didn't
And
do
look what
nothing.
happened. Look at the little pieces, and then the pieces came back
they
together.
did.
Oh, I didn't see the piece come
Look at the
together.
little
Let me see,
pieces.
let me
They
see
did.
that.
Look right there.
And then look, and then
They
they all
look.
there,
They like.
all there, like,
oh
oh
my
snap.
God.
Look at the
What
black
the
guy.
hell is
I know.
You saw the black guy like, damn.
What the hell?
my
They like,
God.
what
Those
the
Israelites
hell
are
is
right.
this?
He don't
Like,
even
what the
realize
hell
that's
is
his
this?
salvation.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, give me Genesis 2. Give me Genesis 2. So this is just laying a foundation for what the subsequent episodes are going to go into, and it's going to escalate each episode. All right, as we go into it.
I love it.
Okay, he said, I love it. He said,
Yes.
I love it. That's why I said I got to do this for the show, or it would have been good for like if I was gonna do like a holiday. because it's a
Yeah,
lot. But
yeah.
but then I said I don't want to do a holiday because it's so much that
So
it's better.
much.
It's better in part because there's a lot.
Yeah.
I'm just laying foundation now. But we're gonna get there. We're gonna get
We
there.
got to get on Esau for the Venezuelan BS. So
I had
it is what it
to.
is.
I had to. And I
Had
said
to.
I'm gonna keep talking about that,
Yeah,
right?
So it is what it is.
So get Genesis 2 and read 15. Watch this.
The book of Genesis, chapter 2 and verse 15. And the Lord God took the man and put him into the garden of Eden to dress it and to keep it.
And we glaze over that a lot, right? And we gave over that a lot. At this point, creation was done, right? And Adam was in a man form at this time. Not a man, he was like a god, right? But he wasn't like when he was the voice speaking, right?
Right.
He came into
Terrestrial.
form,
Yeah,
right?
terrestrial.
Terrestrial.
Yeah.
With power.
Right? But terrestrial in a different level.
And a different
Right.
level, right?
Different
Right.
understanding, right? Because he was in Eden here, right? But even Eden, we don't understand. We're looking at it like a movie where you go into a place and the rainforest opens and then it becomes something else. And you're thinking it's the same realm. You're thinking it's the same reality.
Right.
You're thinking it's like even the same dimension. Why do you think
Right.
you can't see where Eden is?
Because it's blocked.
Right.
And who's blocking it?
The Lord.
Lord.
The angels.
No, the
Those
Lord,
angels.
but
But
who?
like
He has the cherubim,
Right,
Yep.
yeah.
right?
Blocking
Nobody
the way.
can see that cherubim. So what's that cherubim doing? He's concealing it from our sight. Even what we see is not. Bro, it goes
doesn't
back
mean that
again.
it's
The
not
Matrix. You
Yeah.
think that's air you're breathing?
Damn.
Right, right.
So it doesn't
Right?
mean that it's not there.
It don't mean that it's not there, but it's beyond our understanding of what matter is. It's been commanded and manipulated to the extent that we can't see it.
Because we know as far as where the location is, correct?
Generally.
Generally the location, but
It's
not
just
the
generally.
location.
Even Bishop Nathaniel's gonna know. He's generally, we say between here and here
Yeah,
based on
yeah,
what they say the
but not
rivers
exactly
are.
where.
But you go there and it's not
No,
there.
you're not gonna see it. You're not gonna see. You're not gonna see
Damn.
Jacob's ladder or nothing. That.
But that's just like when the angels were revealed.
Get me that. I was
Oh,
just
yeah,
gonna
with
get in the
that.
spirit. I was just gonna tell you that. I was just
Yeah.
gonna tell you that to show you that. Right?
that
Attack on
18?
Titan. I gotta finish that. I've only seen a couple episodes.
Attack on Titan.
Yeah,
That's
I gotta
the
finish that.
show.
I gotta finish that.
I was talking to Deacon Anthony about it for like 20
I'm
minutes.
only gonna go like another 30 minutes. I'm not gonna go
Let him
super
cook.
late today.
Which one do you want? I got history. I'm gonna try to make sure I'm on the right spot.
I want where the angels are revealed to
Elisha?
Elisha.
Yep,
Yeah.
I'm there.
All right,
Okay.
go ahead.
2 Kings chapter 6 and verse 16. He answered, "Fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with him.
Come
with
on.
them." And Elisha prayed and said, "Lord, I pray thee, open his eyes, that he."
But you know what that tells you? What does that tell you? That he's praying for to open his eyes, that he could see it,
Right.
Yeah.
that he was able to.
Oh,
see
that Elijah was able to see it, but
it.
Elisha
Read it
couldn't.
Read it from the beginning again.
And Elisha prayed and said, "Lord, I pray thee, open his eyes, that he may see."
Right, that's Elisha. That means Elisha could see it.
Verse
Go ahead.
16, he already said, "They that be with," he already sees those that are with
Right,
him.
you think he was just talking out his ass?
Right.
So he said, "Lord, I pray that you open his eyes." What does that tell you? That his eyes were able
So
to see
he was
that?
already seeing it.
He was
already
tapped
seeing
in.
He was already tapped in.
And then in Proverbs 14:26, it says, "And the fear of the Lord is strong confidence."
Yes.
He already had the confidence because of what the Lord revealed to him.
Yeah, he
Bruh.
could see it. The Lord let him see it. Go ahead, come on, read.
Verse 17, and Elisha prayed and said, "Lord, I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see." And the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw. And behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha. And when they came down to him, Elisha prayed unto the Lord and said, "Smite this people, I pray thee, with blindness." And he smote them with blindness according to the word of Elisha.
According to the
Going
word.
back to what you said in the prior in the beginning.
Reality follows commands. Goes back to Wisdom of Solomon
Damn.
1:7, and the voice of the Lord fills it. And the
It's
voice
all
of the
in
Lord,
here.
all things. And if you think about it, it's all him. So of course it's gonna reply to his commands.
Right.
If I tell my finger do this, it does it, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If I stand up and I think stand up, I stand up, right? So wouldn't everything be at my command?
That's it.
Right.
Right?
Bro, this
And then that overlaps a little bit with the oneness, right? Where it says, let us be like one with the
Yes,
body of
yes,
Christ and
yes.
all of that, right? All things coming into that one again, right? A lot of times we just stay on the mindset of being in one mind, but It's something more. It's talking. It's that harmony. It's that unity. It's that reordered structure of how things are supposed to be. Right? Were you gonna say something?
No. I'm just flabbergasted.
This all goes.
And notice it said that the things that he saw then came down to him.
Right.
Damn.
So he didn't just see them in the background. They came down and they were waiting for the command because Elisha had the authority
right.
to
That
be
the
able
Lord
to
gave
give that
him.
word to do
man.
it. Right? It's like when Joshua prayed and the sun stopped.
Right. He commanded that.
That was a
particular
word. He didn't do this and do something and manipulated the sun.
Yeah, it wasn't like, no.
Nope.
Yeah.
It was the word, right? It was kind of like, and that's where the Matrix got it from, where he says no.
Yep.
And he stops all the bullets, right?
Yep.
And then he looks at them, and then they all fall.
Yeah.
Right? He grabs one, he looks at it.
He saw them for what they were.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like
Yes.
he saw the Matrix, like he was looking, golly.
Because even that itself, the bullets is a part of his spirit. It's metal. It's
Yes,
metal.
it's
So
matter.
it's matter that has a
Of
spirit in
the
it.
spirit that's filled.
Because even a mountain is a spirit, water, whatever.
So read Genesis 2:15 again.
Oh, Jesus.
Read Genesis 2:15.
The book of Genesis, chapter 2 and verse 15. The Lord God took the man and put him into the Garden of Eden to dress it and to keep it.
Right. So we were supposed to have not authority to try to create things other than being fruitful and multiply, but to manipulate what was there. Meaning what? Maintain what God already established, right? Husbandry. To be a husbandman, to maintain what God already established, right? Remember that point, because when we get into the part where death by sin enters the earth, I think that's episode 2, you're going to see, right? And I don't mean part 2 of this, because this is going to have to be a part 2. But episode 2 itself, we start to the introduction of death and how it changed things from when we were in Eden to where we are now, in the state that we're in now. Look at Tobias' face.
Bro, I got a
Yo,
lot.
oh my
God,
bro.
Right? So that's why scripture warns of that opposition of science, falsely so-called. Science is not supposed to try to change things materially that's here, right? That's why it always backfires on them when they do some wild stuff like that. Okay?
CERN crap.
Right. Or if they are able to do something, the force of it is so destructive that it's detrimental to themselves, right? Like things like the atom bomb.
Atom bomb, yeah, hydrogen,
Yeah, that's
all that.
crazy.
Yeah.
Right? But if they do it, they know that it's mutually assured destruction, right? Meaning that one goes off, the other send theirs off, and that's it, right?
That's it.
It's a wrap. But when Christ returned and he give the command and he programs them, right? And them things obey his command and those missiles, right? Whether they shoot them, right? But think about it. They probably that's the most powerful weapon in their arsenal. When they see nothing else is working against Christ and the angels in that moment, they're going to unleash the nukes, right? And then how do you think them nukes are then going to be turned on us? By command. You know, like when Magneto in X-Men First Class took all the missiles that were launched, right, and then turned them and sent them somewhere else, right? By command, the missile's going to be redirected to where the Lord wants them to be redirected.
You remember they said a chariot came to one of the bases where one of the silos, and it turned off all the nukes that they had in the arsenal?
Yes.
Damn, that shit crazy.
Yep. Bro, it's beyond what we can understand. Right? The problem is, and this is what oppositions of science really is, it oversteps its jurisdiction.
Right.
Science is observation for us to try to understand. Agriculture is science. Knowing what to plant, how to plant it, what not to mix it with. And if you think about it, all those laws of not gendering seeds and stuff together, the Lord was giving us an understanding of how his elements worked. For us not to do those things.
Well, we ain't supposed to
Then it makes you think about the dietary law and why aren't you really supposed to eat those type of things, right? You know, we like to infer. It doesn't say in the scripture
That's true.
about the pig does this and it does that or whatever. That's just us making an observation, right? But he knows that that's not for you. He says they can eat that. You can't. If you eat it, it does something different to you.
Because we made different.
Right?
Which he understands, but we don't.
Not all
we
flesh
just
is the
infer.
same flesh, right? Yeah, we all come from Adam, but so do the other people who are less than nothing.
And they came later.
Right. Even with
and not all people are the salt of the earth.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, my Jesus.
So what science really observes outside of what Eden was is really the shadow, right? This earth is just a shadow, right? When it observes, right? Then science is not in opposition. When it tries to change fundamentally what God created,
that's the opposition.
Then it becomes something else. Then it's opposition.
Dang,
then it's opposition, right? It claims origin without God. And then that's just speculative. They can't do nothing with it, right? So matter is conserved. That law of conservation, they know that. They don't understand why it's like that, but they know that they can't destroy atoms. They know enough to make a law in chemistry and in physics to say that matter cannot be destroyed. They understand that, but they can't credit a creator for that in all their pomp.
Wow.
In all their pomp, right? Law of conservation. Matter. Let's read that. I like this one with the picture on the left, but show the whole thing up, right? Go ahead.
The law of conservation of mass states that matter isn't created or destroyed in any physical or chemical
And
change.
you know what that means? That when that second death happens, when things are annihilated, it's the elements and all of that being in command to that point, right? It means that it's not something physical, it's not something chemical. We think fire, but it's written as fire because why? It was written as to what was observed, but what was it really?
Exactly.
Really?
Because we
What
can't
is it
wait.
really?
We still don't know.
Right? What is it really? And no, not just fire. It's something
All
that
of
we
it.
called fire.
Right.
But it got to be something else. Because if it can't be physically or chemically changed, because fire leaves ash behind.
Right.
They're saying this is going to be total. It has to be something else.
It's like the burning bush.
Man.
He gave us the burning
Right.
bush.
Man.
Bro, that's crazy because the burning bush was, bro, we would try to make sense of what was, and he just
Right, and I know,
yeah.
I'm throwing a lot of questions, but it's so that you go back, and then as you read these scriptures, it gives you another layer. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't tell me that there's no God and that the Bible talks about these things. We just glaze over them a lot. That's why it's so important that you keep reading, and the more years you spend reading, and you start to see things, right? As long as you keep it in line with what the scriptures say so that you don't go off, you start to see things.
Yeah.
I'm taking the science route because I've always been fond of science.
Yeah.
But I look at it now, and it's not in the way Esau's fond of science. Knowing that I'm an Israelite now, it was because there was some affinity that I had to try to understand the way the Lord created things and how he did stuff, right? So there's a spirit on me to try to look at it that way.
Right.
And I've always tried to make sense of it, right? But from that, I said muse, right? So in my video, you had to look it up when I said muse. I love the word muse. Look up the definition of muse. I love it. I think it's beautiful.
Muse, be absorbed in thoughts.
Right. And that's that meditate, right? The scripture says meditate. It does say muse upon, right? But I get absorbed in thought about these things sometimes. And you would think it started from helping my daughter with science homework and an Oreo.
Yeah.
But I started thinking about
That's
all
hilarious.
this stuff. And I said, I got to talk about this, right? So change is real, but annihilation, true annihilation, we can't do that.
Right.
Right? So there's no
the
end
Lord.
of the world. We're not destroying anything, right? They're telling you that, I'm not saying there's not an effect from carbon emissions and all this other stuff like that, but this ain't going nowhere. They know that, but they let that narrative go out.
For fear.
Because we just read the law of conservation, right?
Yeah.
So read it in its entirety. Go back to the law of conservation.
The law of conservation of mass states that matter isn't created or destroyed in any physical or chemical change.
Come on.
The total mass of substances before a reaction always equals the total mass after it, meaning atoms are just rearranged, not lost. So the mass of reactants must equal the mass of products, a principle discovered by Antoine Lavoisier.
Right. So meaning they know that they can't destroy atoms. Right. And why do you think they called them atoms? Right.
Man,
Oh,
don't
shoot.
do it.
Oh, shoot.
Don't do it.
That's what I'm
Don't do it.
Hold on.
Right. Look, I'm just gonna leave it like that, right? So
He said, he just let that question
now
there.
here's the part where they fall off. They say that law means that there was no creation. So they say no creation, no destruction. They're just saying the stuff existed, right? But we clarified that a little bit when I read Genesis 1, it says it was without form, right? The Ancient of Days sits outside of that. The question comes, who created him? We see through a glass darkly. We know that in the beginning, there was God.
Right.
And that was it.
Right.
And even we can't comprehend what that is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, Daniel saw him as the Ancient of Days sitting on a throne and all that. What do you think that really looks like? Was that just not a way for him to show us a form?
Right.
Right? And remember, it says nobody's seen
The Father.
the Father. So that means that there was no features. There was no distinctions.
It's just like the bush.
He saw a representation of what was the Ancient of Days.
Bruh.
Because nobody's seen the Father at any
Yeah,
time.
he just knew that that's who that was.
He just knew. right? Because again, that's that way that by command things are given to us. Right? Just like Elisha was just able to see all that. Right. That was just given to him, right? And really it's because everything we see, you have to understand when it says it's a shadow, and we're going to talk more about the shadow and stuff. Everything you see that's a shadow, right? That's what people are really observing. So they can never, ever uncover. Though they do a diligent search, they can never uncover the trueness, the realness of it. Because it's not for them. And they're not going to see it because it's not in the form that it needs to be now until the kingdom comes. Remember, the scripture says flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of heaven.
Yep.
That's there has to be a change, right? There has to be a change. As we keep going in, we're going to dig. This is where we're going to take the break, right? Because there's a clean break. Because next we're going to go into from the dust thou art and all of that, all right? But that's going to have to be next week because I had to talk about the Venezuela stuff this week, all right? This is just stuff for y'all to remember. I said this foundation for you to think. And if between now and next week y'all got scriptures, you could bring stuff up. I might have some. If not, we can layer it in and look at that. But this is just something that I've been musing on for a while in the background, and then it came to the forefront with those two, with the Oreo thing and with my daughter's midterm. I said, I got to talk about this stuff. And I got like feverish the other day.
Because the Most High spoke it.
I spent like 4 hours just kind of like, I was all over the place. Yep.
And this is stuff that you can't even GPT. I'm saying like you could look up certain things, but the scriptures, you can never GPT that. That's you. That's the Lord working through you. Because they don't know about Genesis.
No. That's the verses that. That's the verses. No. When I use it to help me create my outline, I'm giving it the verses.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Hey, I like how you ended it though. Why is it called an atom?
Man, mic dropping to walk away.
You just ended it right there, drop the bomb, and it's like, all right, closing.
We're going to stop there for this week's show. I didn't want to end too late. I be getting home. We all had a rough day, it looks like I said, so I need to get my rest.
That 5 miles is crazy right now.
Lord's will, y'all got something out of it. We're going to finish up. We're going to finish up this first episode next week. Maybe even get to the second episode because the second episode is a little shorter. But again, it depends on the dialogue and where we go with it.
Right. Look at Toby over there.
All right. Abe, you got that up on the screen. Donate to the Booster Club. Do not forget, we have that QR code, not to fill the space on the screen all show. All right. It's to support the missions of what we're doing. Okay. Remember, we read in Isaiah, was it 42 or 44? Where it says they have nobody to say restore. We have to send the prophets out, all right, to these places where people have not yet heard about this, especially to this northern kingdom and all the afflictions that they remember. And Hosea said in their affliction they would seek me early, right? Now those things are happening, and this is a perfect time for us to be able to go out and show these things to our people, and not just the northern kingdom, but everywhere that we go. And we need your support to do these beautiful works that we've been doing. Scan that QR code. Any amount helps, okay? Because when you have a collective of us giving, it makes a big difference, all right? And giving consistently, all right?
All right, as you know, first and foremost, put some flames, which is a spirit made by God. Put some flames on the comments if you enjoyed tonight's topic. All right, on top of that, follow us on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, all that. All right, make sure you guys follow us. The more likes, the more shares, the more comments that we get, the more that this word reaches to the masses of our people. And this is stuff that you're never going to see and hear in any other platform because the word of God is here, which is another spirit, by the way. But all these things here, you could find at IUIC Phoenix, IsraelUnite.org. All right, so make sure y'all follow us. Make sure y'all subscribe. And let's get them likes up, all right? Let's get them likes up. And look, we got 428 people watching.
Man,
436 likes. Y'all good. Yeah, they locked in.
They was locked in tonight.
They was locked in.
Oh, yeah. Now, we had 500 something at one point. I don't know what the high was, but I looked at one.
Yeah, it was like 5 something. I remember it was like 5 something.
Oh, praises.
It's 12 right now.
We should have the likes that match it.
Deacon, it's all flames, man.
Yeah, it's just all flames. We don't know what it is.
Look at all the madams.
It's flames. We're going to go with that.
Spoken by God.
It's spoken by God.
Oh, praises, man. Is that all we got?
Oh, praises. That it? We ain't got nothing else? All right, with that, we say shalom. Y'all stay safe. Stay in the spirit out there, okay? There's a spirit with the holidays. I think people more crazy. They driving crazy. People more violent.
Cuidado.
Right, you got these wicked holidays and people's bugged out there. Be safe out there, family, all right? With that, we say shalom, shalom. Most High Christ bless.
Shalom.
Creation does not create itself. It is formed, and I formed it. Let there be light.
This for the Southern Kingdom, Kwame Sharala.
Hey, one nation, one nation.
This for the Northern Kingdom, Viva la Raza.
We one nation, one nation.
This for the Southern Kingdom, Kwame Sharala.
Hey, one nation, one nation.
This for the Northern Kingdom, Viva la Raza.
We one nation, one nation.
It wouldn't be Israel without Mexicans. Black love, brown pride, cause we next to kin. We ain't gotta tell Esau to let's be friends, cause we above all nations and we better than them. We the salt of the earth, ayy, ayy. And we been king since birth, ayy, ayy. We put the kingdom first, ayy, ayy. And they gon' get this work, ayy, ayy. We was chosen, not cause we the most of the people. Few in numbers, but we over the people. We gods of this earth, we ain't supposed to be equal. Stop playing, you emotional people. The good gotta triumph over the evil. So my foot's on the throat of the eagle. Their tongues will confess that we the people. Cause my nation ain't never been feeble.